A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio. A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Chesterfield always takes first place. That milder, mild tobacco never leaves an aftertaste.
So open the pack, give 'em a smell,
then you smoke 'em.
Someone waits for me.
Welcoming you to the Bing Crosby Show, presented by Chesterfield, produced and transcribed in Hollywood with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Judd Collins with the Bears, and Bing's guests, Hopalong, Cassidy, and Miss Peggy Lee. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present that famous hero of the Old West, Bing Crosby.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ken. I'm glad you remembered I was a hero of the Old West. I started out with plenty of rustlers in my day.
Easy now, steady, boy. When I said you were the hero of the Old West, I was referring back to the days when you were such a hit as a singer at the Coconut Grove.
I started out with many a rustler right in the Coconut Grove.
Ken, I don't think we should stand here, though, yakking about the Coconut Grove in the old days when we have the star of the current show of the Coconut Grove right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Peggy Lee. Peg.
I'm moving.
Give her room, Ken.
Peggy, I caught your show at the Coconut Grove the other night. Really great.
Oh, this girl's got it.
Thank you. Say, Ken, did you hear about the telegram Bing sent me on my opening night?
Oh, no. What'd he say?
Just a little wire. It was nothing important.
Oh, come on. What'd it say, Peg?
Well, I have it right here. It says, Peggy Lee, Coconut Grove. I left there rather hurriedly in 1930. Would you please pick up my laundry?
When you send someone a wire on opening night, you're supposed to wire congratulations and good luck. Of course, it's none of my business.
You're right, Ken. It is none of your business. Did you get my laundry, Peggy?
Yes, I put it in your dressing room.
How much do I owe you?
18 cents.
I thought I left 2 shirts there. Well,
say, by the way, Bing, the laundryman said to tell you that your shirt needs repairing.
It does? Why?
Well, he dropped a cigarette on it, and the celluloid collar went up in smoke.
Well, if it wasn't a Chesterfield, I'll sue him.
Oh, he told me to be sure and tell you it was a Chesterfield.
Well, that's all right, then. He's for Peg, now that we've got all our business taken care of, what do you say we get on with our opening number, that little affair called the Bushel and the Peck?
I'm ready.
A bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck and
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck.
A hug around the neck and a barrel and a heap, barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you, about you, I love you, a bushel and a peck. You bet your pretty neck I do. Oh, I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, though you make my heart a wreck.
Oh, yes, you make my heart a wreck, and you make my life a mess. Make my
life a mess, yes, a mess of happiness.
About you, about you, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck. You bet your pretty neck I do. Love each other, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck.
And it beats me all the heck, yes, it beats me all the heck. How I'll ever tend the farm.
Don't ever tend the farm when you ought to keep your arm.
About you.
Yes, about me. 'Cause I love you, a bushel and a peck. You bet your pretty neck I do. A bushel and a peck.
A hug around the neck.
You bet your pretty neck I do.
Very good, Bing and Peggy.
Thanks, Ken. Now, don't you think we ought to get together and remind the folks why they should love Chesterfield's a bushel and a peck?
Why, Bing, the folks love Chesterfield's 2 bushels and a peck.
Oh, see here.
I want to tell you something. That Chesterfield Christmas carton, the bright, gay Christmas carton with that very colorful picture of you as Papa Santa Claus on it, is really flying right off the dealer's shelves.
My picture ain't holding it back none, huh?
Oh, no. Nothing can hold Chesterfield's back. Why, some of the dealers I've talked with tell me lots of their customers order anywhere from 6 to a dozen or more cartons at a time.
Ah, those are smart folks, the one who buy Chesterfield.
And Bing, these Papa Santa Claus cartons should make new Chesterfield smokers, too.
Really?
Sure. Folks buy them as Christmas presents for the milkman, the mailman, for Pop's stocking, for all the smokers on their list. And, of course, Chesterfield smokers order as many as they need for gifts, then get an extra carton for themselves.
Isn't that cheating?
No, not at all. It just proves that this year's Christmas carton of Chesterfield's is the greatest of them all. I mean Chesterfield's Christmas carton with Bing as Papa Santa Claus. Order plenty today at your favorite cigarette dealer.
Any day now, Paramount is going to cut loose a little musical film called Mr. Music. The following is one of the ditties from this fin de siècle. You have to follow your dreams till they all come true. Look around when they do, and you'll be home. You have to follow your heart, and it may be far. Then just ask where you are, and you'll be home. There'll always be meadows yonder with greener clover than those you'll wander right over. That shining castle you see on a distant shore. Go and knock on the door, and you'll be home. You have to follow your dreams till they all come true. Look around when they do, and you'll be home. You have to follow your heart, and it may be far. Then just ask where you are, and you'll be home. There'll always be meadows yonder with greener clover than those you'll wander right over. That shining castle you see
shore. Go and knock on the door, and you'll be home. No more to roam. Knock on the door, and you'll be home.
Peggy Lee is going to sing the current hit called Orange Colored Sky. You ready to slam bang and alakazam, Peg?
Oh, yes, I feel very alakazam-y tonight.
Well, then everything should be very hootin' on the gate. Miss Lee, Orange Colored Sky.
I was walking along, minding my business, when out of an orange-colored sky, flash, bang, alakazam, wonderful you came by. I was home on a tune, drinking in sunshine, when out of an orange-colored view, a flash, bang, alakazam, I got a look at you. One look and I yelled timber, watch out for flying glass. Then the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started to shout, I've been hit. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. I-T-S. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. A flash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored sky. One look and I yelled timber, watch out for flying glass. Then the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started to shout, I've been hit. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. I-T-S. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. A flash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored purple stripe, pretty green polka-dotted sky. Flash, bam, alakazam, and goodbye.
Jolly, Peggy, very jolly. Now please stand by, will you, honey, while I bring on our next guest of the evening, fine, handsome, two-fisted man whom the boys, the girls, and the grown-ups of this country have put on a high pedestal. And justly so, because he stands out as a symbol of clean living, honor, fair play, and good behavior. Hoppy, it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Bing.
I haven't seen you in quite some time, Hoppy. How are things going with you, anyway?
Oh, I can't complain.
And he can't, folks.
And he can't either, folks.
I was going to tell you something, Bill, right now, that everybody around our house, you know what they've done? They've latched right onto that new item of yours. We're all using Hopalong Cassidy soap.
Really?
Darn tootin'.
Well, I want to tell you something, Bing.
Come in.
Everybody around our house is using Minute Maid fresh frozen orange juice.
Well, we're even. You got your Chesterfield Christmas cartons, Bob, Hop?
Yep.
Well,
but
you're
Bing,
with it. You're on.
I'm glad to hear you all like my soap around your house. Golly, those 4 boys of yours must use a lot of it.
Well, they could use it more, and they could use it more often. Say, you know something else, Bill? On account of you, you know what happened? Dixie has thrown away all of her perfume atomizers.
What for?
Well, she's squirting her perfume on with Hopalong Cassidy pistols.
Well, that's wonderful.
What other items you got, Bill, besides the soap? What do you got that's new this year, huh?
Well, we have Hopalong Cassidy toothbrushes and Hopalong Cassidy toothpaste for the kids.
Say, when you coming out with Hopalong Cassidy teeth for the older folks?
Oh, I thought of that, Bing.
Huh?
But I hated to change my name to Painless Cassidy.
Might be an idea, though. Painless Cassidy, your friendly credit cowboy. Bill, there's one item you got out that I really go for. That's those Hopalong Cassidy pajamas.
Bing, how can you wear those pajamas?
Well, someone gave Gary a pair. He's too big for them, so... I got them.
Well, as long as you have Hopalong Cassidy pajamas, you might as well get yourself a Hopalong Cassidy bed.
You're kidding. Hopalong Cassidy bed?
Sure.
I thought all good cowboys slept on the ground.
I did before all this happened.
All I can tell you is it couldn't have happened to a nicer fellow.
Thank you, Bing.
Hey, Hoppy, what do you say we have a little Western play? We got to have a Western play for the folks here, huh?
That's fine with me, Bing.
Carp, Ken, how about setting the scene?
Oh, gladly. Yes, I'll give it. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present a drama of the Old West entitled Smoking Guns, or Guns That Smoke Milder, Shoot Milder. The scene is the dirty, rough, tough frontier town known as the Thing, Nevada.
Oh, this must be a vicious village, huh?
During the play, Hopalong Cassidy rides his famous white horse, Topper. Miss Peggy Lee rides a beautiful chestnut mare, and Mr. Crosby rides the mobile gas flying red horse.
I got a notion to drill you, Carpenter.
Our scene opens in the beautiful, newly decorated Gopher Hole Hotel, which is run by Miss Peggy Lee. Overture, Mr. Trotter.
Whoa, whoa there, flying red. Whoa now, whoa, whoa. Ad-libbing horse, if I've ever... Open the door so I can come in. You stop taking bows and let them open. Did he open the door? Give me an open door, nice open door. Morning, ma'am.
Morning, stranger. Welcome to the Gopher Hole Hotel.
My name is Ace Crosby, ma'am. You got a vacant room here at the Gopher Hole?
Yes, sir, and believe me, it's a pleasure to have an ace in the hole.
Oh, good. Man, this must be a tough burg. What's them arrows in the wall? Indians been here?
No, they point the way to the bathroom.
What'll they think of next?
Bathroom.
What?
Here's your key, Ace. Room 21 on the second floor.
Fine. You send the bellboy up from the laundry?
Sorry, we don't have a bellboy. Should I come up?
Okay, but bring some white rock with you. Huh?
You know, Ace,
What?
you're different from most of the fine, upright, bashful, honorable men in this town.
Mm-hmm.
You're a heel.
Well, you're mighty attractive yourself, girl.
Morning, Miss Peggy.
Morning, Hopalong.
Hopalong. Well, I'll be moseying upstairs.
Just a minute there, stranger. Your name's Crosby, ain't it?
So what?
You're not fooling me, any stranger. Your itchy finger's Crosby, and if I catch you reaching for anything around this town, I'm going to cure your itch.
Well, you ain't scaring me none, Cassidy. Some people might think you're tough, but I don't. I'm staying in this town just as long as I feel like it.
How long is that?
Happens I'm leaving immediately.
You better leave, partner. I know for a fact that you're the worst thief ever hit the Nevada territory. And if you aren't out of here by sundown, I'm going to run you out.
Gene Autry. John Wayne. Roy Rogers.
I'll thank you not to use that language in front of Miss Peggy.
Lone Ranger.
That'll be enough of that. Now get going and get going fast. Because if you don't get going, I'll get going. And when I get going, brother, you're gone.
All right, I'll get going, but this ain't the last of this. You'll hear from me, Cassidy.
I will,
Yes, I'm sending you a Christmas card.
And so, Itchy Fingers Crosby left town, but later that night he sneaked back. And we now find that he's forced his way into the First National Bank and is now kneeling in front of the safe. But Hopalong Cassidy had a premonition that Crosby would return, and he and Miss Peggy are also in the bank, kneeling behind the safe. We now see Crosby in the flickering light of a lantern sitting in front of the safe, cracking walnuts.
I'm just limbering up. As soon as I get these walnuts cracked, I'm going to crack this here safe. Well, might as well shoot the lock off. Get into the green stuff. Golly, that was easier than opening a charge account at Leo Sunshine Poneroll.
All right, Crosby, I got you covered. Reach for the sky.
Well, in that event, Cassidy, I may as well let you in on a little secret. I'm not a crook.
No?
I'm Buckskin Crosby, the famous United States Marshal.
No!
Yes, and I blew that safe to get valuable evidence against the president of this bank.
Well, I'm mighty glad to know you, Buckskin.
Likewise.
Me too, Buckskin.
You know, Miss Peggy, ever since I met you this morning, I had a hankering. I just had a downright hankering for you. Golly, I'd like to do something about it.
Okay, Marshal, what's your plan?
Well, it's kind of personal between you and me. I thought maybe we might get hitched, but I don't like to propose in front of Hoppy.
Okay, I'll mosey along. The best of luck to you, Buckskin, and Miss Peggy.
Thanks, Hoppy. Now forsake the sagebrush, and we get on to one of this year's big Christmas tunes, written by Livingston and Evans. Peggy, how about you taking a piece of this? You know this song?
Sure,
Right,
Marshal. What's your plan?
Oh, now. Stuck on a gag, you won't turn it loose. Gag beater, we'll call it. Well, you take a little, and I'll take a little, and Mr. Hope will be very happy, because this is from his forthcoming picture, The Lemon Drop Kid. Silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them sing. Soon it will be Christmas Day. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas.
Hear the snow crush, see the kids rush. This is Santa's big day. And above all this bustle, you hear silver bells.
The corner Santa Claus
Silver bells
is busy now because it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling,
it fills the winter air.
hear them ring.
You hear it everywhere.
Soon it will be Christmas Day. City sidewalk, busy sidewalk, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. Very soon it will be Christmas Day. Peggy, believe me, the fact that we sang Silver Bells will make Hope really happy.
Oh, Bob's happy all the
Well,
time.
he's slap happy, huh?
How's Bob doing as a Chesterfield
Pretty good,
salesman?
pretty good. Of course, it doesn't take much of a salesman to sell Chesterfield.
No, that's right.
No.
They sell themselves once the folks make that Chesterfield mildness test.
Yeah, that's right, Peg. Folks, just smell 'em, smoke 'em, and compare 'em. Make your next pack Chesterfield. Then open it and enjoy that milder, mellow Chesterfield aroma. Compared with the brand you've been smoking, Chesterfields are milder.
That's right. And tobaccos that smell milder smoke milder. Tobacco men have been saying that for years. You smoke them, and you'll find Chesterfields are milder. And they leave no unpleasant aftertaste.
Yes, the country's first and only cigarette taste panel confirmed this fact. Chesterfield is the only cigarette in which members of the panel found no unpleasant aftertaste.
So make your next pack Chesterfield. The only cigarette that combines, for you, mildness with no unpleasant aftertaste.
Chesterfield, Chesterfield always takes first place. That milder, mild tobacco never leaves an aftertaste.
So open a pack, give 'em a smell,
Then you'll smoke 'em.
Irving Berlin's great song. Definitely a must this time of the year, I guess. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. My deepest thanks to Hopalong Cassidy and to Peggy Lee for joining us.
That was a lot of fun, Bing, and I'm sure sorry I had to be so tough with you.
Well, I guess I had it coming. For a while there, it looked like I was a bad guy.
Who's going to get tough with you next week, Bing, huh?
Next week, Peggy, we hope to have rather a serene interlude. A very smooth, happy interlude, because we're doing our Christmas show, and our guests will be 4 little angels named Gary, Dennis, Philip, and Lindsay Crosby.
Bing, I can remember the time when those 4 little angels let the air out of all 4 of my tires.
Oh, yeah, but that was before you was hoppy.
Hey, Bing, I heard the Christmas record you have out with your 4 boys. Are you going to do some of those tunes next week?
Oh, sure, Peggy. And besides that, Gary and I have worked out endless rehearsals. We've worked out a flashy arrangement of Jingle Bells. It's all ready to go. Well, come on, Hoppy. Let's mosey across the street, and I'll go with the Bob Cobb's Brown Derby there and have a sarsaparilla.
Okay.
I think I'll have a gunpowder float in mine, will you? Join us, Peggy?
Sure will, Buckskin.
Well, then, let's go. See you next week for Chesterfield, folks. That's the best cigarette for you to smoke.
This is Sherman Billingsley reporting from my Stork Club in New York. You know, our number 1 cigarette is Chesterfield. And when customers ask for a long cigarette, I always recommend Fatima. It says right on the gold and yellow package, they're extra mild. And they sure are. At the Stork Club, we only recommend the best. Number 1, Chesterfield. And king-size Fatima, the best of all long cigarettes.
The Bing Crosby Show, presented by Chesterfield, was produced and transcribed in Hollywood by Bill Morrow and Myrtle McKenzie. Tune in next week and hear Bing and his guests, Gary, Dennis, Philip, and Lindsay Crosby.
Now, a full hour of mystery adventure, the Saturday night feature of NBC's All-Star Festival. 30 minutes from now, it's The Man Called X. Right now... Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell. Brought to you by the makers of Anacin for fast relief from pain of headaches, neuritis, and neuralgia. By Chesterfield, the only cigarette that combines mildness with no unpleasant aftertaste. The cigarette that brings you Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. By your local Ford dealer, who is now displaying the new 1951 Ford, the car that's built for the years ahead. And by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, first in television.
Yeah, danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, the whole trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize this assignment's going to involve a worthless scrap of paper, which almost turns out to be my own death warrant. Morning, Commissioner.
Steve, I suppose I pulled you right out of a big deal, as usual.
No, matter of fact, it was all very innocent this time, Commissioner. I was out getting some new furniture for my apartment.
You were what?
Sure. I just bought a coffee table with a lazy Susan.
Really?
Well, on second thought, Susan wasn't so lazy after all.
That's what I thought.
Well, Commissioner, I've finally gotten the jump on you.
How's that?
You're always calling me in here and sending me off into the wild blue yonder, so this time I'm ready for you. I'm all packed up and I've got my passport in my pocket. Now, what wild and woolly spot are you sending me to this time?
Richmond, Virginia.
What?
You heard me, sir. Richmond, Virginia.
Great. That's what I get for trying to be a mastermind. Okay, so I unpacked.
I wouldn't do that just yet, Steve. You start in Richmond. Where you end up is anybody's guess.
What's the deal?
Ekman's in this country.
Ekman? Hasn't anybody done the world a favor by knocking him off yet?
Steve, you know as much about Ekman as I do. He's part-time foreign agent, part-time international information peddler. He's smooth and tough, and he's been in our hair for longer than I care to remember.
What's he doing in the United States?
Can you think of any reason why Ekman would steal an old Civil War map?
Civil War map? Are you kidding?
We know Ekman went to Virginia. We also know he managed to crash a fancy dress ball given by a Colonel Carruthers there. After the ball, this map was missing from the wall of the Colonel's study.
But I still don't see how a Civil War map could be important enough.
Neither do I. That's why you're going to Richmond. Now, Steve, get down there. Talk to Colonel Carruthers. Then go anywhere and do anything you have to get to the bottom of this whole deal. Well, that's it. You've got your assignment. Good luck.
You're listening to Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy in the role of Steve Mitchell, colorful two-fisted government agent. At all those places of the world where danger and intrigue walk hand in hand, there you will find Steve Mitchell on another dangerous assignment.
Well, I've had a lot of screwball assignments in my time, but this one takes the cake. A Civil War map yet. I suppose the next thing I'll find out is that I'm up against a plot to blow up Chesapeake Bay. It's Wednesday when I get to Richmond. I head for Colonel Carruthers' mansion.
We're delighted in order to make your acquaintance, Mr. Mitchell, sir. Although I must confess I'm a little puzzled as to why they should send a man from Washington to investigate such a minor theft. But then the things they do in Washington have puzzled me for quite a spell now.
We're interested in the case primarily because of the man who apparently stole the map, Colonel Carruthers. As for the map itself...
The document is of historical value only, sir. As you see, my study here is filled with relics of the Great War. War between the states, that is.
Yeah. And the map had no value other than as a relic, huh?
None whatsoever, no, sir. No, it had to do with the Battle of Fredericksburg. December 1862. A decisive victory for the South, I might add. As a matter of fact, it was merely a rough sketch, but it was actually used by the Confederate Army. That gives it value to a collector.
Do you know this man, Ekman, Colonel?
Ekman?
Yeah, the one who swiped the map.
The scoundrel passed himself off to me as a Claiborne. Fine old Southern name.
Oh?
He claimed to be writing a book on the Battle of Fredericksburg. Matter of fact, I remember thinking at the time it was rather strange.
What was?
Well, that he should be writing a book on the Battle of Fredericksburg, when one was just published last month. One in which my relics and my research appear quite prominently. But to get back to this Claiborne,
Ekman.
Ekman, yeah. Well, he wanted to browse through my books and my relics. I was quite preoccupied at the time. I was making preparation for a fancy dress ball. So I gave him permission. And it was after the ball was over that I discovered that the map was missing.
Mm-hmm.
And the man with it.
I see.
However, now, if you would care to see what that map looked like, there's a picture of it in this book I spoke of, the one that was published last month. That's the one in which my relics and my research appear. I happen to have a copy of that right here. The picture of the map is on page 263, approximately. Now, let's see. Oh, say, sir, just in passing, here's a picture of the very sword used by Jeb Stuart himself in the charge of the battle of...
That's very interesting, but the map, Colonel, please.
I'm coming to the map. Now, here's a picture of a genuine mini ball here.
Mini?
Kind of used to shoot out a cannon.
Colonel, the map.
Now, here's somebody else's relic. Yeah, now, here we are. Yeah, here we are. The map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were right when you said it was just a rough sketch. I don't get it. Why would a foreign agent like Ekman steal a map like this?
Well, that's the mystery of it, sir.
Of course, we're not completely sure it was Ekman who stole it. Colonel, these guests you were entertaining at the time...
Sir, if you were trying to imply that the people I invite into my home are of the caliber that would stoop to common theft...
I'm not trying to imply anything, Colonel. I'm just... what's this scrawl in the lower right-hand corner here?
Now, I see it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Well, that is the signature of the man who made the map. A Frenchman named Cartier. He fought for the South during the Great War. Great friend of my daddy's. As a matter of fact, it was Cartier's great-grandson, Bill Carter, who gave me this map. Mm-hmm. Bill Carter. Comes from a fine old Richmond family.
Cartier?
Yeah, well, family. Changed the name around. I suspect Bill was sugaring me up a little with the gift of that map so the young blade could ask for my granddaughter Juliana's hand in marriage.
I see. Well, thanks for the information, Colonel. I'll see you later. I leave Colonel Carruthers' house still as much in the dark as when I came. Why Ekman would steal a map 90 years old is a way beyond me, but there must be a reason. I've got to find out what it is, which means that first I've got to find Ekman. So I start checking. 3 hours and $25 later, I find a cab driver who remembers taking a man answering Ekman's description to the Colonel's house last night, waiting for him a few minutes, and then taking him to a hotel in Richmond. I try the hotel, but Ekman's just checked out. The clerk remembers, however, hearing him inquire about the sailing time of a ship named the Southern Empress from Norfolk. I get there just as the ship is hauling in her gangplank, but I make it aboard the last second and head for the bridge and the captain.
No, Mitchell, there's no Claiborne on my passenger list, and no Ekman either.
That doesn't surprise me, Captain. Ekman used the name of Claiborne in Richmond, and he could be using another name now.
You sure he's on this ship?
Pretty sure.
Well, you've written down his description for me. I'll pass it along to the rest of my officers.
Okay, I'll nose around the ship and spread the word among the stewards.
I think that will be your best chance.
Incidentally, where are we heading?
Lisbon, Portugal.
Lisbon?
Does that make sense to you? This man Ekman, I mean, is that where you figured he'd be heading?
Lisbon, Coney Island, what's the difference does it make? Right now, nothing about this deal makes sense. Well, I'll check with you later. I nose around the ship all day, but I don't spot Ekman. None of the stewards I talk to remember noticing him either. By now, I'm beginning to wonder if he's even on the ship. This is going to look just great in an official report. Steve Mitchell, government agent on a wild goose chase across the Atlantic after a Civil War map. Well, towards evening, I head for the bar. Then I spot the girl. When I first notice her, she's 3 stools away. The next time I look, she's 2 stools away. Then, all of a sudden, she's right beside me.
Howdy.
Hello.
I always feel a girl shouldn't sit in a bar alone. Doesn't look right.
Oh, well, now you're not alone.
You probably think it's real brazen of me to talk to a man I don't know.
Well, they tell me life on board ship is pretty informal, Miss...
Besides, my first name's Zoe.
Steve Mitchell.
Now, isn't that one?
That one?
I just knew your name would be Steve. Oh, no, ask me how. I just knew.
Well, you're one up on me there. I didn't just know your name would be Zoe.
You enjoying the boat ride, Steve?
No, not particularly. How about you? Sounds like this is the farthest you've ever been away from the Mason-Dixon line.
Oh, now you're just poking fun at me, Stevie. I think I have myself a mighty fine boat ride. Sure enough, I managed to make me some friends. Poor little helpless girl like me, she needs friends wherever she is. I tell you for sure.
You don't look very helpless to me. The way you've been downing those straight shots.
Oh, those are just to give me some courage, Stevie. I'm naturally such a shy little old person.
Yeah, I can see that. You on a vacation, Zoe?
Uh-huh.
How'd you happen to pick Lisbon?
Now, isn't that one? I couldn't in all the world tell you why, Stevie. I just stuck a pen in a map and it said Lisbon.
I see.
You know, this life aboard the boat's all so new to me. Sometimes I wish I'd stayed right at home. Body gets to feeling so helpless.
So now we're back on that helpless routine?
Oh, but I really am, Stevie. Why, you wouldn't believe it, but I can't even get that little old door on my stateroom lock. 35B, that is. That lock just won't seem to work right. Isn't that awful?
Well...
As a matter of fact, I think I ought to go try it again. I just know I won't be able to make it work right. Maybe sooner or later I'll find me some nice person who can help me.
I don't doubt it.
I see you later?
You never can tell.
That's quite a number, friend.
Huh?
I say, the little lady, she's quite a looker, isn't she?
Well, she's looking all right.
Cully's the name, friend. John J. Cully.
Mitchell's mine. How are you?
Oh, well, I've had a little bout with my stomach right after we put to sea, but I'm feeling much better now. See, this is my first boat trip. I've ridden every railroad in the United States in my time, but never out on the Bridie. Yes, it's quite an experience, yes, sir.
You travel a lot?
Oh, yes, sure do. Here's my card, friend.
John J. Cully, Acme Button Company. Well, you sell buttons?
Well, I don't give them away.
Oh.
Yes, I figure I've sold an average of 2/3 a button to every man, woman, and child of the United States.
Quite a record. But what good's 2/3 a button?
Oh, say, you're mighty quick on the uptake there.
Yeah, I'm a car.
You ought to be shuffled and cut.
Oh, fine.
You know, you and I speak the same language, friend.
Thanks.
Yes, I've sold buttons in every state there is. Now I'm going over to do the same thing in Europe.
The zipper doesn't have you scared, huh?
Well, sir, that used to be a dirty word to me. But the way I've got it figured out now is this is a big world, friend. There's room in it for the zipper and the button.
Well, that's reassuring.
You know, our president said to me not a week ago, he called me into his office, he did, plunked me down in the chair, and then old S.H. says, S.H., that's our president, says to me, J.J.,
that's you.
Right, yes. Says to me, go out, J.J., go out and button up the world. It's a great thought, isn't it?
Oh, inspiring.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Mitchell.
Oh, Captain. Excuse me, Mr. Cully.
Oh, yeah, sure thing, friend.
Keep them flying.
You mean keep them buttoned?
What is it, Captain?
You know that particular passenger you're looking for?
Ekman?
Well, there's a man in 31B who answers the general description, but his name is Pettibone.
Thanks, Captain. I'll pay him a little visit. $31B.
Why, Stevie.
Wow, Miss Magnolia Blossom. I thought your stateroom was 35B.
Oh, it is, but I always feel that a person belongs to get acquainted with their neighbors. And when Mr. Pettibone was kind enough to ask me to step in for a teeny little old drink.
Where is Mr. Pettibone?
He just stepped out for a minute. I'll be right back.
You said you were just on a vacation, didn't you, Zoe?
I sure enough did.
You're sure that's all there is to it? You don't happen to be interested in any Civil War relics, do you?
You mean the war between states? Well, I'm sure I know what you're talking about, Steve. Oh, here's Mr. Pettibone now.
Hold it. Let go of it.
You're not Ekman.
Of course, Uncle Ekman. Of course I'm not Ekman. I'm Mr. Pettibone, if you please. And if you're a private detective, you can tell my wife.
Private detective? Wife? Oh, great. Thank you and good evening, Mr. Pettibone. I go back on deck and I realize I'm getting nowhere fast. The old feeling that this whole thing is some kind of a gag starts gnawing away at me again. Then the captain sends word to me that the mate has spotted another passenger who answers Ekman's description, a man in 42B. So I head below again, probably another wild goose chase, but I've got to follow it up. I knock. No answer. Door's unlocked. I go inside. Stateroom's dark, and I catch a whiff of a heavy Swedish smell. I flick on the lights. The room is all torn up. Then I hear a sound behind me. I start to whirl around, but too late. Something hard connects over my right ear, and I hit the deck. When I come out of it, I know I've finally found Ekman, but I still don't know why he swiped the Civil War map. He's very, very dead.
Have you ever wondered what Hope says to Crosby? Let's listen and find out.
Say, Bob, incidentally, now that you're with Chesterfield, suggestion, please. Yeah. Why don't you try and conduct yourself with a little savoir-faire, a little, je ne sais quoi, joie de vivre.
Look, V.N. Rose. Don't try to dazzle me with that stale French of yours.
I could dazzle you with English, Bob.
Dazzle be enough out of you.
Seriously, friends, Skinflint and I, we do agree 100% on this. Chesterfields are milder.
And they leave no unpleasant aftertaste. So always buy our cigarette, Chesterfield.
The best cigarette for you to smoke.
Chesterfield, Chesterfield, always in first place. That milder, mild tobacco never leaves an aftertaste.
So open a pack, give 'em a smell.
Then you'll smoke 'em.
Don't forget to give Crosby for Christmas. I mean a Chesterfield Christmas carton with Bing as Papa Santa Claus.
Now back to Dangerous Assignment and Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Any idea who killed Ekman, Mitchell?
None at all, Captain. It was probably the same person who hit me over the head when I walked into Ekman's stateroom.
Whoever it was couldn't have gotten very far from Ekman's room.
What do you mean?
Well, I came down the passageway just about a minute after you went into the stateroom. There was no one in sight.
Let's see. Who are some of the passengers whose staterooms are near Ekman's on B deck?
Well, Ekman's stateroom was 42B. There's a Miss Forsyth in 35B.
Yeah, the Southern Fried Chicken.
And a Mr. Pettibone in 31B.
Yeah, I've already met Mr. Pettibone, too.
I believe that most of the rest of the passengers from that area were up on deck when it happened.
Well, so now I'm worse off than ever before. Now I don't know who's got the map.
I wouldn't say that.
What do you mean, Captain?
You have the map.
I have the... Now, look.
Take a look in this envelope.
There's a map. Where did you get it, Captain?
The mate told me this Ekman had asked him to lock up the envelope in the ship's safe, so I thought I'd better see what was in it.
Yeah, it looks like the picture of it that I saw in that book that Colonel Cassidy placed back in the States.
What's so important about it, Mitchell?
That's the point. It's just a rough sketch drawn by a guy named Cartier almost 90 years ago, so now I've got it. But I still don't know what the deal is all about. Wait, did you lock up Ekman's stateroom after we left?
Yes, I also posted a guard there.
Good. I'd like to examine his papers. I'll meet you there in 10 minutes. First, I want to have a talk with the Belle of the South.
place.
Hello, Zoe.
Now, I just bet you finally came to see if you could help me fix that little old lock on my door.
Well, not exactly.
Oh?
Zoe, the last time I saw you, you were in Mr. Pettibone's stateroom. How long did you stay there after I left?
Well, only a minute, Steve. And Mr. Pettibone, he was quite disturbed about your visit. He seemed to think you were a nasty old private detective or something like that. I told him I wouldn't pay you. No, never mind. Why do you ask?
Because not long ago, a man was killed just a few staterooms away.
Oh, me. The things that can happen on a boat.
Yeah, the things that can happen on a boat. I suppose you wouldn't be knowing anything about it.
Well, Stevie, whatever do you mean? Well, what's the matter?
Nothing. You got a cigarette, Zoe?
What? No, shucks, I'm all out.
I see.
Where are you going?
I'll see you later, Zoe.
Well, I do declare you aren't the strangest man I ever did.
I leave Zoe's stateroom, go up on deck for a smoke. Now I know the trail is heating up. I caught a whiff of the same aroma in Zoe's room that I'd noticed in Ekman's room, and now I've got the smell pegged. It's Turkish tobacco. So, at this point, it looks like Zoe's tied up in the deal. But before I do anything about her, I've got to find out what the deal is. I head for Ekman's stateroom to meet the captain on the way I pass the bar. Cully the Button King flashes me a big grin and waves me to come over, but I've got no desire to talk buttons at this moment, so I keep walking. The captain and I go over all of Ekman's papers carefully, and finally, I find something.
What is it, Mitchell?
A letter, Captain. Written by a guy named Corelli in Lisbon, an address to Ekman. It refers to certain interests who are willing to pay for proof. Proof of what? It doesn't say. It also mentions an Ortigue family in Lisbon and says they're willing to add a big bundle of money, too.
You think that the Civil War map is somehow connected with all of this?
I think it is. It could be the proof this Corelli talks about in that letter, but proof of what? I don't even have a glimmer right now. When do we dock in Lisbon?
Tomorrow morning.
You know, I got a hunch that shortly after we dock, this Corelli's going to receive a visit from Ekman's partner.
But Ekman's dead.
I know. That's why his partner has to carry on with the deal.
But do you know who this partner is?
Yeah.
Who?
Me.
Yes?
Corelli?
Who are you?
A friend of Ekman's.
Oh, come in. When did your boat dock?
20 minutes ago.
Where is Ekman?
Somebody caught up with him. He's dead.
Dead? What's the map?
Don't worry about the map. It's a good thing Ekman and I both were working together on this deal.
You have the map?
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Not so fast, Corelli. I've been thinking. I'm not sure the dough is enough.
What? But it was all agreed. The interests who wish the map are willing to pay $10,000 American, and the Ortigue family is willing to add another $10,000.
Maybe the map is worth more than that.
I would strongly advise you not to try and bargain with them. They are getting restless as it is. Any further delay might ruin the entire transaction.
Okay, I'll call you in a couple of hours, Corelli.
Very well. And if you do not have the map for me by then, I would not be surprised if the parties I represent have something for you.
Something for me? What do you mean?
Then do it.
So, now I've made the contact, but I still don't know why the map's so valuable. But I do know I can't stall Corelli very long. I've got to get a line on the Ortigue family and how they figure in the deal. So I head for the American Embassy.
The Ortigue family? I'm sure they've been a thorn in our side for quite a while, Mitchell. At least Mrs. Ortigue has. What about them?
That's just what I'd like to know, Woods. What about them?
Well, Mrs. Ortigue owns some land in the Middle East with a chromite mine on it. You know, the stuff that's used in steel manufacturing.
Yeah.
She's leased the mine to the interests on the other side of the fence. We'd like the lease because we need all the chromite we can get. Her husband's willing to go along with us, but she says no soap. And it's her land, so there we are.
How'd this Mrs. Ortigue get the land in the first place?
We've got a pretty big file on it. She inherited the land from her grandfather. He was the only living relative of his uncle. There'd been a son, but he was lost at sea on the way to America. So the upshot is, old man Cartier leaves the land to his nephew, who in turn leaves it to his granddaughter, Mrs. Ortigue. And...
Wait a minute. Did you say Cartier?
Yeah, Mrs. Ortigue's maiden name. Why, does the name ring a bell?
A fire alarm. Let me check those files. I think this whole deal just fell into place. I go through the files, and 10 minutes later, I've got the answer. I go out and get into my car. And as I'm pulling away from the curb, I smell a very familiar aroma. The same Turkish tobacco I'd noticed in Ekman's room at the time of his murder and later in Zoe's room. But before I can turn my head around, there's a gun barrel pressing against the back of my neck. Well, hello, Zoe.
I can't say I'm too surprised to find you in my back seat.
I'm afraid you've got the wrong party, friend.
Cully.
Yes, just call me J.J. Now keep your eyes straight ahead, friend.
So the world's leading button salesman turns out to be the big boy in this deal.
Right you are, friend. Now, there's only one thing more I have to button up.
What's that?
You. And I can do that very nicely. With just one slug.
Here's a word from RCA Victor. Only 6 shopping days before Christmas. But that still gives you time to adopt the RCA Victor plan for 365 Christmases every year. Just hie yourself to your RCA Victor dealers on Monday and acquire that perpetual Santa Claus, the gift that keeps on giving every day, every year to everybody. An RCA Victor million-proof television set. You'll have your choice of 18 different members of the RCA Victor Royal family of television. Every one is a superb value. But if you're a real wizard at investment, you'll choose a magnificent combination, which gives you RCA Victor console radio and console phonograph right along with your RCA Victor television, all in one beautiful cabinet, and for far, far less than you'd pay for separate instruments of comparable quality. Whichever RCA Victor set you choose, it'll make every day feel like Christmas for everybody in your family. See RCA Victor million-proof television.
Ahead, friend. And remember, I'm sitting right behind you with a gun.
Okay, Cully.
Now reach in your pocket real gentle like and pull out that map and hand it over.
You know, it took me quite a while to find out why that map was so valuable to Mrs. Ortiz and the outfit she's leasing that Middle East mining land to. The map proves that she doesn't own the land.
Quite an important little piece of paper, isn't it, friend?
It sure is. Old man Carter owned the land years ago, and he thought his son was lost at sea on the way to America, so he left the land to his nephew, who in turn passed it on to Mrs. Ortiz. But actually, that son wasn't lost at sea. He got to America, and among other things, he drew a map with his signature on it. He's got some direct descendants in Richmond, Virginia, who are the rightful owners of the mining land.
Sure. That's why certain people who are anxious to keep the lease don't want the map floating around. Now, come on, hand it over.
It was you who knocked off Ekman on the boat, huh?
Merely increasing the profits, friend. Originally, it was going to be a 3-way split, Corelli, Ekman, and myself, but I figured J.J.
That's you.
Right, J.J. I said to myself, why a 3-way split?
So you knocked off Ekman to make it a 2-way split.
I'm a jump ahead of you, friend. I just took care of Corelli, too. Now it's a 1-way split.
You're a real go-getter, aren't you?
That I am.
Well, that explains the smell of Turkish tobacco. You just killed Ekman and knocked me on the head when you heard the captain coming down the passageway. You had to duck into another stateroom and you picked Zoe's. She was with Pettibone at the time, and that's why I smelled the smoke in her room later.
Look, friend, stalling isn't going to do you any good. Now just trot out the map and give it to me.
Okay, I guess I haven't got any choice. I got it here in my pocket.
Hey, why did you speed up?
I'm sorry, my foot slipped.
Well, unslip it. Mitchell, that parked car ahead of us.
I see it.
You're heading right for it.
J.J. You can't shoot when you're draped over the front seat, J.J.
Let go of me.
Let go of the gun. No. That's better.
Mitchell, maybe we can make a deal, huh?
All right. The deck just got stacked against you, Cully, in a little matter of murder charge staring you in the face, and I'm sure when the Carters back in the States find that they own the mining land, they'll be happy to turn the lease over to our government. You had it all figured out, Cully, but I guess you forgot that fine old Southern proverb.
What are you talking about?
The man who poses as a button salesman sometime ends up getting clipped right on the article of the same name.
Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell, is written by Bob Reif and Adrian Jomdo, with music by Robert Armbruster, and is produced and directed by Bill Karn. Be with us next week at this same time when Brian Donlevy, starring in the role of Steve Mitchell, will embark on another Dangerous Assignment. Dangerous Assignment came to you from Radio City in Hollywood. Now, more mystery on NBC's All-Star Festival. Stay tuned for Herbert Marshall as The Man Called X. This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, it's the Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, transcribed and brought to you by the Jell-O family of red letter desserts.
Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper, two people who live together and like it. As we look in on the Coopers this evening, George is sitting in the living room reading the paper when Liz makes a dramatic announcement.
Okay, George, this is it.
Huh? What?
Now, don't try to get out of it. I know when I tell you, you'll say, oh, no.
What are you talking about?
This is the night we have to pick out our Christmas cards.
Oh, no.
Well, I called it.
Oh, but Liz, we just picked out the Christmas cards the other day.
That was last year.
Oh. Well, do we have to do it tonight?
Yes, and you don't even have to get out of your chair.
I don't?
No. Luckily, one of the women in the neighborhood is selling Christmas cards to make extra money, and I have her sample book right here.
Well, this is something like it. Now, who was smart enough to think of doing that?
If she was a snake, I'd bite you.
Liz, you selling Christmas cards?
Good morning, sir. I represent the Kris Kringle Christmas Card Company. I have a lovely selection of cards, 25 for $1 with your name printed free.
Addie, I'm proud of you. Give me a kiss.
Give me an order.
Oh, strictly business, huh?
Right.
How many orders have you sold?
Oh, quite a few.
How many?
It's going along fine.
How many?
Yours and two more will make 3.
I see.
Well, I just started, George. Now take a look at these cards. Every one of them distinctive and completely unusual. Here, look at number 14. The verse inside's very clever.
Oh?
Just listen to this. This is the season of holly and spruce, so Merry Christmas to you, Uncle Bruce.
Uncle Bruce. That seems to have a very limited appeal. Holly and spruce. Uncle Bruce.
Not at all.
Oh, Liz, be sensible. What if his name isn't Uncle Bruce?
Very simple. Buy card number 14A. Here it is. This is the season of spruce and holly, so Merry Christmas to you, Uncle Charlie.
I was afraid of that. Well, my only uncle's name is Gil Hooley.
That's number 14G.
What?
This is the season that we know as Yulee, so Merry Christmas to you, Uncle Gil.
Now, cut that out. You made that up.
All right, I did. But you aren't giving these cards a fair chance. Look, now here's a nice one.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, we'll take that.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, George. It's the only nice one in the book. I'll write up the order. How many do you want of those, sir?
Oh, 100, I guess.
100 of number 20. That'll be $4, please.
Yeah, but $4 is the regular retail price.
I know.
Well, don't you get a discount when you buy them yourself?
I'm not buying them. You are.
Strange, but I was under the impression that the name on the cards would be George and Liz.
Well, whatever you want to say on the card, sir. The printing is free.
Oh, Liz. This doesn't make sense. You're making a commission on yourself. You're taking the money out of one pocket and putting it in the other.
Well, as long as the first pocket is yours and the second pocket is mine, who cares?
You insist on my paying the full price?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here's your $4.
Thank you. That was easier than I expected.
Now about the printing on my cards.
Yes, sir. How would you like that to read? Liz and George Cooper?
No.
George and Liz Cooper?
No.
Well, how do you want it to read?
George Cooper and friend.
Friend? What will people think?
I don't know. How soon may I expect those, miss?
George.
What?
I don't want to be your friend. I want to be your wife.
I can't hear you.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since you're such a close relative, I'll forget my commission.
Good.
Darn you. I still haven't made any money. Well, who else can I sell some cards to?
Mrs. Cooper.
Oh, I hear my pigeon cooing at me. In here, Katie.
Could I see you a minute?
Yes, of course. Come in. Sit down, Katie. Make yourself at home.
I
wanted to see you, too.
Well, you see, I represent the Kris Kringle Christmas Card Company.
Is there an echo in here?
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, you too.
I'm afraid so, Katie.
How's business with you?
Oh, I've sold every customer I've talked to.
Really? The only customer I've sold is myself.
Which card did you pick, Katie?
Number 20.
That's the one we picked.
Why don't we buy just one set of cards and sign it George, Liz, and Katie?
That'll do, George.
Okay.
Well, I'll be getting along. I have a list of prospects. I'll see you later.
Goodbye, Katie.
Good luck.
I wonder if any of my prospects are on her list. Oh, my goodness, where's that phone?
What's the matter?
Iris Atterbury. I'll bet Katie's headed for there right now. Ooh, I'm glad I thought of it in time. Iris should be good for at least a... Hello, Iris? Well, Merry Christmas to you. Iris, what I called about. Oh, you were getting ready to call me? No, I just bought my cards. Yes, I've heard of the Kris Kringle Christmas Card Company. Which one did you buy? Oh, number 20. What did I want? Oh, I just called up to say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Goodbye.
Did she take number 20?
Yes. If this keeps up, everybody in town can buy one card and keep it.
Well, let's pick another card.
Oh, it's no use, George. That was the only good one in the book. The way I feel right now, I don't think I'll even send any cards this year.
No, you don't mean that.
I do, too. It's just not worth it. Look what happened last year.
Don't remind me.
We knocked ourselves out getting the cleverest, cutest card in town. Sent out 3 boxes of them, and not a single soul so much as said, we got your card.
Well, the important thing is that we sent them.
Who's that?
No, probably someone from the Kris Kringle Christmas Card Company. I'll get it.
Special delivery.
Thank you. It's a special delivery letter, Liz.
For me?
It's from my mother.
Oh, well, then it's not for me.
It's for both of us.
Oh, sure.
I don't know what you have against Mother.
There. Look at the first line of that letter, and you'll see. My dear, darling, adorable, wonderful George. And Liz, too.
Now, Liz.
I suppose that's nice. Read it for yourself, George.
My dear, darling, adorable, wonderful George and Liz.
Well, she sure changed her tune in a hurry.
I can't be with you this Christmas, but I'd like to have a picture to carry with me. A picture of your smiling face. Your 2 smiling faces.
Yes, your 2, and mine will make 3. Look, you're not fooling me, George. What else does she say?
Love, Mother. Nothing else, Liz.
Let me see that letter.
Oh, no, there's nothing.
Let me see. Well, if it will keep peace in your family, you may tell Liz I asked for a picture of you both together. But, baby, try to stand a little away from her so I can cut your picture out clean.
Now, Liz.
This is no news to me, George. I've seen the only picture she has of us. The one of you with my arm around you. Just my arm. She cut the rest of me out.
Well, honey, she's getting old. Now, let's just forget about my mother. We still haven't settled the matter of our Christmas cards. Let's see the rest of the cards in that book.
No, the rest of them are just awful. I could make better cards and... Hey, that's an idea. I'll make our Christmas cards myself.
Oh, but Liz, you're not artistic. You better buy them.
Either I make them myself or you buy them.
Oh, all right. Make them yourself, but you'll be sorry.
Okay, George Cooper. Just wait till you see the beautiful cards I make. You'll see how artistic I am.
Well, folks, for a picture that's always a triumphant success, you just can't beat a beautiful shimmering mold of Jell-O. So pretty to look at and so easy to make the swell new quick-setting way. It's a busy day lifesaver. Gives you beautiful finished Jell-O desserts in just about 1 hour. Dissolve your Jell-O in 1 cup of hot water. Then add 1 cup of ice cubes or crushed ice, filling the cup to the brim with water. Stir until the ice melts completely and pop into the refrigerator to chill. And about 1 hour later, your Jell-O's all ready to set on the table. All 6 delicious Jell-O flavors go with the holidays like Santa's sleigh. So sparkling gay in those bright, shimmering colors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. And also fruit-rich good to eat. They make a party of any meal. Look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. And it's Jell-O for red letter desserts. Jell-O. And now back to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband. As we look in on the Coopers once again, it is 2 days later. 2 days that Liz has spent diligently carving a linoleum block to hand print their Christmas cards.
Okay, stand by, Katie. You are about to witness the first printing of an original Liz Cooper Christmas card.
I'll bet it's adorable.
Now, I spread the ink on, push it onto the paper like this. There. Well, what do you think of it?
Well, it's nice, but what does it say?
Merry Christmas.
In what language? Doesn't look like that to me.
Well, that's what I carved.
Did you make the letters backwards?
Of course not. Don't be ridiculous.
Mrs. Cooper, when you're making a block to print with, you have to make the letters backwards if you want them to come out forwards.
Ooh.
If you make them frontwards, they'll print backwards.
Now she tells me.
The design is nice. Maybe you can send them anyway.
No, I'm afraid our friends wouldn't understand it was Merry Christmas if it says Sam Tritch E-Rim.
I guess not.
And they wouldn't even know who it was from. Look at our names, Zill and Agrog.
Oh.
Zill and Agrog Repook. Well, I'm right back where I started from.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll get it, Katie. Yes?
Oh, good afternoon, madam. If I told you I could solve all your Christmas card problems, what would you say?
I love you.
You do?
No, I meant you came along at the right moment. I'm desperate.
You must be if you love me.
Look, shall we stick to Christmas cards? Now, what are you selling?
This year, the Smart Set is sending personalized cards. Why don't you send your friends you?
Me?
Yes, you.
Well, I'll tell you, I tried it, but I don't fit through that slot in the mailbox.
I was referring to a likeness of yourself, a Christmas card with a picture of you on it.
Oh.
The Peggy Studio of Photographic Art has the holiday offer. 100 cards with your picture, complete with envelopes, for the ridiculously low price of $5.
Oh, what a wonderful idea. Our picture on a Christmas card. I'll take it.
I haven't finished yet.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And 47 cents. I'm finished.
Well, when can we have them taken?
And just come down to the studio this afternoon, and you'll be having your picture taken by a master, one of the truly great photographers of our time, Professor Sergei Peggy himself.
Wonderful. Oh, I'm so relieved. My problems are all solved. I'm so happy I could kiss you.
You don't really mean that, do you?
No, I just said it.
Yes. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Did you hear that, Katie?
Yes, ma'am.
I solved all my troubles in one fell swoop.
Did you?
What do you mean?
This means your mother-in-law will get a picture.
Oh, my goodness, you're right. I can't take those cards. Hey, I made a mistake. Oh, he's gone.
Now, what are you going to do?
There's only one thing to do. I've got to stick so close to George in those pictures that she can't cut me out. Well, let's see now. Here it is. Pegalovsky Photographic Studio.
Looks like sort of a beat-up joint.
There doesn't seem to be anyone here. Oh, there's the salesman. Hello there.
Hello, Mrs. Cooper.
Is Professor Pegalovsky ready to take our picture?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are Sergei Pegalovsky?
Who else? Now, if you'll step into my studio.
How do you want us to pose?
Well, I thought, and I think I've come up with something unusual for you.
Oh, good. What is it?
Mr. Cooper, I thought you could be sitting in the chair holding a derby hat over your chest, and Mrs. Cooper could be standing in back of you with her hand on your shoulder.
Oh, that would be nice. But don't you think I should wear a handlebar mustache?
What?
And where are the head clamps?
Right behind you.
Oh, I didn't see them.
Look, if you two comics don't mind, how about a nice informal pose?
All right, I'll sit on your lap.
On my lap?
Well, that's informal. I want to be close to you, George. So close that even a scissors won't fit between us.
Now, don't be silly.
Well, you get posed and I'll focus the camera. Woo!
What's the matter?
I've forgotten how dark it was under here.
Oh, well, how do we look?
Oh, you look fine. And Mr. Cooper... where are you, Mr. Cooper? I know you're there. I can see your shoes.
Oh, Liz, for heaven's sakes, you're right in front of me. Now, don't hog the picture. Now, sit here by my side.
Okay.
Not so close. There's plenty of room. We'll both be in the picture.
Yeah, but not for long.
Now, you sit right there.
Heads together.
Heads apart.
Heads together.
Heads apart.
All right.
There. All right, go ahead, Professor. Take the picture.
All right. 1, 2... Mr. Cooper.
Yes?
Do you always have a hand growing out of the top of your head?
Now, Liz, cut that out.
Heads together?
All right, heads together.
Now, hold that. Ooh, what happened?
You used too much flashlight powder.
Liz, honey, I'm home.
Hi, George. How's my little hubsband?
Okay, I stopped by the photographer's on the way home and got the proof.
Oh, good. Give me a kiss. Proof!
Hey, that's a great way to lose a lip.
Hey, where are they? Where are they?
Now, take it easy. Don't worry. They're all pretty good.
Oh, you peeked.
I just glanced at them in the shop.
Well, you might at least have waited until we looked at them together.
Well, which one do you like?
Well, I think this one is the best, George. There's a nice highlight on my hair.
Yeah, but...
For what?
Well, it makes me look like I need a shave.
Oh, I hadn't noticed you. Well, which one do you like?
Well, I rather like this. I think that's the best picture I've ever had taken.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful of you, George. Wonderful.
Well, then we'll tell him to go ahead. But what?
That's my bad side.
Well, What about this next one? It's a different pose.
Oh, no, that really is my bad side.
Well, you better settle on something, Liz. You're running out of sides.
Well, how about this one? No, I don't like it.
No, I don't either.
Too bad. It's the first one we've agreed on.
Look, Liz, you're a woman, and it matters more to you than to me, so we'll pick one that flatters you.
Oh, well, thanks, dear, but most of them will go to your business acquaintances. It's more important that you look your best.
No, I insist. The best one of you.
Oh, I insist. Now, the best one of you.
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 Well, all right.
Oh, darn it, I went one you too many. You big ham.
All right, Liz. Just so nobody will be unhappy, we'll pick this one.
Well, the one where we both look lousy? Doesn't even look like us.
Don't worry, dear. Our names will be on it.
Okay, maybe people will be nice like they were last year and not say anything about it. Oh, Professor Pegalovsky.
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, I was just going to start on your card.
Oh, I'm glad I caught you. I got to thinking that the picture we decided on wasn't really flattering enough of George, so I want to change it and surprise him.
Well, all right. Here are the proofs. Which one is it you want now?
This one. This is the one that makes George look good.
It is? Well, this makes him look like he needs a shave.
Oh, I know that's when George looks his best, in the morning before he shaves.
Well, all right, if that's what you want. Oh, one thing, if I may say so. You look gorgeous in this one.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
Oh. Well, I'll start on them right away.
Well, thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Oh, Professor Pagolowski.
Oh, Mr. Cooper, I was just going to start on your cards.
Oh, I'm glad I caught you. You know, I got to thinking that the picture we decided on wasn't flattering enough of Liz.
Oh? Well, it will be when you see it on the card.
No, I want to choose another one and surprise her.
Well, all right. Here are the proofs.
We want this one. Oh, Liz looks great in this one.
She does?
Yeah.
But that's one of her bad sides.
Oh, I know, but Liz's bad side is so much prettier than anyone else's good side.
Well, all right. And if I may say so, this one is certainly handsome of you.
You think so? Oh, gee, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah. Now, you sure this is the one you want?
Oh, yes, this is it, all right.
Well, it better be, because I'm starting on them right now.
George, our Christmas cards are here.
Hey, I can hardly wait to see what they look like.
Oh, here, George, you open them. Oh, no, wait.
What's the matter?
George, before you open the cards, there's something we should discuss.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, you know what a vague little person Professor Pegalovsky is. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if he makes a lot of mistakes.
Oh, what about it?
Well, if, for instance, he should have made a mistake and printed the wrong picture on our cards. Now, understand, I'm pretty sure he didn't. But if he did, now, there isn't any reason for either one of us to get upset, is there?
Well, certainly not.
If there is a mistake, we'll take it good-naturedly and all have a good laugh over it, won't we?
Sure.
Okay, open the cards.
Well, there they are.
But that's the one that's good of you. I mean, that isn't the one we picked out.
You were right, Liz. He made a mistake.
I'll say he did.
Well, I guess we'll just have to send him anyway.
Like heck we will.
Well, now, wait a minute. We weren't going to get upset, remember?
Upset? Who's upset? Just because that little jerk made a mistake is no reason we have to send those crummy cards.
Remember, we were going to be good-natured about it.
I am good-natured.
We were going to have a good laugh about it.
I'm laughing.
Oh, now, honey, aren't you being a little childish?
No!
After all, it's only a Christmas card.
I don't care what it is. We're not going to send them. I'll show you what we're going to do with them. There.
Liz, you threw them in the fire.
You bet I did.
Well, You know what you can do now. You can march right down to the store and buy some more cards.
Tomorrow.
Tonight.
But, George, it's snowing outside.
That's tough luck. I'll get your coat and galoshes out of the closet.
If you loved me, you wouldn't treat me this way, turning me out on a night like this.
Oh, Liz.
Give me my coat. I'll go.
Well, Liz, honey, you don't have to go.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, I have 3 boxes of regular Christmas cards right there in the closet, all stamped and addressed.
You have?
Real cute ones with a reindeer and little ribbons on its horns.
That sounds like the ones we had last year.
Yeah. No wonder nobody acknowledged them. I just found out I forgot to mail them.
Yes, Lucille, what happens this evening?
Tonight, Robert, we go to Egypt. I'm a famous lady archaeologist, and you're interviewing me for the Scientific Gazette. A little old bones music, Wilbur.
Hello.
Hello there.
Are you the famous archaeologist, Professor Dorothea Theodora?
Well, all right. We won't get very far if I ain't.
I see. Well, I'm from the Scientific Gazette, and I'd like to interrogate you.
Oh! Well, I think you're pretty cute, too.
Look, you don't understand. I'd like to ask you a question.
Oh, well, shoot the query, dearie.
I understand that you are the ultimate authority in the interpretation of primitive inscriptions unearthed since the Neolithic, Paleolithic, and Pleistocene ages.
Well, we all have days like that.
You are the only living person who can read hieroglyphics.
I am? Oh, I am, yes.
Would you read those hieroglyphics there for me?
Oh, gladly. A square, curlicue, arrow, man, zigzag, zag-zig, moon, tree, doodle.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think it means Jell-O comes in 6 delicious flavors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and doodle.
That's lime.
Oh, you can read Egyptian, too.
I can read Egyptian as well as you can. I suppose the next line says, the flavor is locked in by a special process and can't get out till your first delectable spoonful.
Oh, you can't even read English.
Jell-O.
You better let me finish it for you. Jell-O makes you think of the real ripe fruit itself. And so look for the big red letters on the pyramid. Oh, and look, there's a signature.
3 drums.
Yes, you know who that is, don't you?
No.
No. 3 drums. Why, that's that famous Egyptian philosopher, the Thing. Good night.
You have been listening to My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, and based on characters created by Isabel Scott Rorick. Tonight's transcribed program was produced and directed by Jess Oppenheimer, who wrote the script with Madeline Pugh and Bob Carroll, Jr. Original music was composed by Marlon Skiles and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. The part of Katie, the maid, was played by Ruth Parrott.
Henry, what are you thinking about?
Why, that new instant Sanka coffee, dear. It certainly is wonderful.
Sure thing. Just look at the new richer coffee color. Taste the new full-bodied real coffee flavor. Discover how much less instant Sanka costs. And did you know the makers of Instant Sanka make the only caffeine-free coffee? The kind that can't affect anybody's nerves or sleep. Try the new Instant Sanka. It's wonderful.
Be sure to listen to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband again next week, presented by...
Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings, yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tapioca puddings, yes, sirree.
The name Jell-O is a registered trademark of General Foods. Bob Lamont speaking.
This is CBS, where you hear Lucille Ball and My Favorite Husband every Saturday night on the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike.
Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike, be happy, go lucky strike, yay!
My Christmas list is quite complete. I wrote it with great ease. I simply said 100 packs of LSFFT.
I'm Santa Claus, I'm working hard, I'm filling up my sleigh with milder, richer Lucky Strike to brighten Christmas Day.
Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike, be happy, go lucky strike, yay!
Truly, this is the time of the year to be happy, go lucky. For Luckies give you all the smoking enjoyment you want in a cigarette. That perfect combination of real mildness and rich, true tobacco taste. You see, only fine tobacco gives you both perfect mildness and rich taste. And LSMFT, Lucky Strike, means fine tobacco. And remember, the gay Lucky Strike Christmas cartons, specially created by the famous designer Raymond Loy, make perfect Christmas gifts. So add to the joys of the season by giving your family and friends Lucky Strike cigarettes in their colorful holiday wrapping. Then everybody can be happy, go lucky.
Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike, be happy, go lucky strike today.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go out to Jack Benny's home in Beverly Hills. At the moment, Jack is out doing his Christmas shopping, and Rochester's just leaving to do his.
Well, I've got all the windows shut. Guess I can go. Uh-oh. What's this on the desk? A letter in Mr. Benny's handwriting. Dear Santa, Christmas is almost here, and it would make me very happy if you gave me a train. When Mr. Benny wants a train, he wants a train. This letter isn't addressed to Santa Claus, it's to Santa Fe. Well, they may send him one. He's mentioned them enough. Well, I'll mail the letter when there's the phone. Mr. Benny's residence, Star Stage Green Radio, will tell you what the thing is for 50 cents.
Hello, this is the credit manager of the Beverly Hills department store.
Yes?
There's a Mr. Jack Benny in my office opening a charge account, and I'm merely calling to verify his identification.
I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. First, would you give me a general description of Mr. Benny?
Yes, sir. He's got muscles like Burt Lancaster, shoulders like Clark Gable, and a chest like Victor Mature.
Wait a minute. Does he look like that to you?
Yes, but after Christmas he shrinks a little.
I see what you're getting at. But now for his actual description. Is he about 5'9"?
Uh-huh.
Does he weigh about 160?
Uh-huh.
Are his eyes blue?
Bluer than the cork in a bottle of grape juice.
Just a moment. Say, they are! Now, just one more question. Does Mr. Benny have a savings account?
Oh, yes, several.
Where?
California Bank, Security Bank, Farmers and Merchants Bank, First National Bank, Citizens Bank, and the banks of the Wabash.
Banks of the Wabash?
He him there when he was a boy.
Oh, well, I think I have enough information. Thank you.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, Mr. Benny, it gives me great pleasure to present you with this credit card. We're very proud to have you as one of our customers.
Well, thank you. Come on, Mary. Now I can do my Christmas shopping. And I'm going to buy your present first.
Oh, thanks.
Gosh, the store sure is crowded. There's a mob around every counter.
Gee, look at the way those women are pushing.
Yeah, and you know, Mary, I can't understand one thing about women. All year long, they're so helpless. You have to open the door for them. They can't light their own cigarettes. They cling to your arm as you walk down the street. They're as delicate as butterflies. And then, about 2 weeks before Christmas, a mad glint comes into their eyes. Armed with umbrellas for gouging and handbags for slugging, they march down Wilshire Boulevard yelling, "Hit 'em again! Hit 'em again! Harder! Harder!"
Jack, stop kidding.
Kidding? Mary, I was in a department store yesterday, and a little gray-haired old lady, couldn't have been over 5 feet tall, put down her cane and yanked a washing machine right out of my arm. When I tried to stop her, she kicked my hat off.
Well, Jack, it wasn't your washing machine. Why'd you try to stop her?
It was a demonstrator, and my shirt was in it. Now, come on, let's do some shopping.
Okay, I want to buy a Lady Esther makeup kit for my sister Babe and some gloves for myself. I'll see you later.
Okay. Now, let's see. I think I'll buy Mary a watch. Yeah, that'll be nice. Back home again in Indiana. That's where I long to be. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash. Gee, I wonder if anybody dug around there lately. Oh, well. Let's see, where's the jewelry counter? I better find out. Oh, I beg your pardon, mister. Are you the floor walker? Will you please tell me where the jewelry counter is?
I can, but I won't.
Why not?
This is my lunch hour.
Your lunch hour?
Certainly. Do you think I always have mayonnaise on my carnation?
Now, wait a minute. I just want to find... Never mind, I'll find it myself. Wise guy, the counter's right in back of me.
How do you do, sir? May I help you?
Yes. I'd like to look at a watch, please.
Is it for a man, a woman, or a dog?
A dog?
This is Beverly Hills, you know.
Well, I want a lady's wristwatch. Not a rich one, a lady's wristwatch. I don't know any dogs.
Well, let's see. Now, here's our new Senator McCarthy model. It has only one hand on it.
One hand? Well, how do you tell time?
Every hour it comes up and slugs you.
Well, it's cute, all right, but I'd like something a little more practical. Say, here's an awfully nice one. I think Mary would really like this.
That's $120.
Oh. With that fly speck, I thought it said 12.
They warned me about you. Put down that fly.
Now, look, miss.
Here's a nice watch for $12.
Well, that's just what I want. I'll take it. Here's your money.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness, I didn't mean to give you cash. I just opened a charge account.
Well, it's too late now. I already rang it up.
Well, all right. Say, this watch is a beauty.
It certainly is. And it has an unbreakable crystal. Here, try it out.
No, I'll take your word for it.
Go ahead. Take this little hammer and hit it.
No, I don't think I ought to, really.
Go ahead. That's why we keep this little hammer here.
Well, all right.
Shall I wrap it up now?
Wrap it up. You mean sweep it up. And give me back my $12.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I cannot return your money.
Oh, you can't. I'll get my money back if I have to...
Just a moment. Oh, Mr. Nelson.
Oh, him again.
What is it, Miss Valley?
This man broke a watch with a hammer, and he wants his money back.
Well, certainly I broke the watch, but she told me to.
She told you to?
Yes.
Well, haven't you got a mind of your own?
Well, certainly I have a mind of my own, but this young lady told me it was unbreakable.
Young? Why, she's 42 and she's a day.
We're not arguing about that. I want my money back.
Oh, give it to him, Miss Valance, before he bites somebody.
Yes.
Here you are. Boy, what a sore loser.
Well, it's certainly a fine store to do business with.
You walked in, Tallulah. Nobody dragged you.
Oh, quiet. Now, where did Mary go? Oh, there she is over there.
I like these. I'll take these suede gloves, please.
Yes, ma'am. That'll be $10.95.
Here you are.
Thank you. Say, aren't you Mary Livingston?
Yes.
You used to work at the May Company, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did.
Well, don't you remember me? Blanche Nudnich?
Oh, yes. You sold garbage disposal.
That's right.
How come you left?
I had to quit. Sales girls were disappearing right and left. Anyway, Mary, since you left the May Company, you sure have gone up.
I've gone, but you've got your directions mixed.
Oh, Mary! Mary!
Yes, Jack. Did you get my present?
Not yet, Mary. I'm going to buy Don's present first, but I don't know what to get for him.
Why, Jack, I thought that was settled. Last night when we were all at Ciro's, you put your arm around Don and said, Johnsy, you've been such a pal to me that this Christmas I'm going to give you a pair of diamond cufflinks.
Last night I had 4 glasses of sherry. I'm all right now, so where's the handkerchief count?
Well, you go on, Jack. I'll meet you back here in 15 minutes. What time is it now?
I don't know. I'll find out. Pardon me, can you tell me the time? Thank you. It's 3 o'clock.
Well, what do you know? A Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah. See you later. Well, let's see. I'll get Don some handkerchiefs. Then for Phil...
Hiya, Bud. Long time no see.
Huh? Oh, hello. Every time I go shopping, I run to that racetrack house. Now, let's see. Where's the handkerchief department?
Pardon me, miss. Would you mind waiting on me, please?
Why, yes, sir. What can I do for you all?
Well, honey, child, you're the same little gal waiting on me last year. You're from Alabama, ain't you?
I sure am. Are you all from the South?
Am I all from the South, honey? When I was born, the doctor held me up on my feet and slapped my little ham hock with a candied yam.
To Jefferson Davis if it ain't little old Phil Harris.
Yeah, that's me. They purchased Louisiana because I was in it. Now, let me see. What can I get for my wife? Have you any suggestions?
Well, here's something very beautiful in a sheer negligee, ankle length and trimmed with lace.
Hey, that looks all right. I'll take 2 of them and embroider them his and hers.
You mean you're going to wear one?
Yeah, I like to look nice around the pool.
I'll have it wrapped up for you in just a little old minute. Now, wait right here, Mr. Harris.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Mary.
Oh, here I am, Jack.
Say, Mary, I just thought of a wonderful gift for Don Wilson. You know, he's been playing a lot of golf lately.
I know, Jack. As a matter of fact, I gave him the golf bag.
Say, that's right.
And Phil gave him the clubs.
Well, Mary, the gift I'm thinking about will tie right in. Although I don't know whether to give him a dozen or a dozen and a half.
Well, Jack, I think a dozen golf balls would be wonderful.
Golf balls? I was thinking about tees.
Oh, Jack, you wouldn't.
Well, Mary, it's the least I can do.
Not if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, that's what I'll give him, golf tees. Come on, let's take the elevator. The sporting goods department is on the mezzanine.
Wait a minute, Jack. You told me this morning you wanted to get something for little Stevie, the president of the Beverly Hills Beavers.
Oh, yes.
Well, here's the toy department.
Good. I think I'll try and get him a Buck Rogers gun.
Hey, Jack, look at that cute little toy gas station. It's got a grease rack and everything.
Well, you got it right this time, didn't you? Now, let's see. Where's the clerk?
Here he comes.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Toyland. What can I do for you?
Look, I'm interested in a Buck Rogers gun for a little boy.
Well, I don't know if we got one, but here's a novelty that all the kids is crazy about. A chemistry set.
A chemistry set?
Yeah. You know, it's a science thing with a lot of chemicals.
Oh, you mean chemical?
Take it, Jack. It'll make a beautiful Christmas present.
Mary, well, it's nice, all right, but I'm interested in a Buck Rogers gun.
Well, here's something the kids like. It's not only fascinating, but entertaining as well. A mama doll.
A mama doll? But this is for a little...
Look, I'll show you how it works.
Gee.
Ain't that the nuts?
Yeah, a mama doll is a lovely gift, but you see, I want something for a little boy.
So what? I used to have a mama doll when I was a kid, but me big brother broke it. And when I woke up the next morning, there was my poor little dolly with her head all smashed to pieces.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
Can I buy you a hanky?
Yes, here you are. Now, look, mister, what I really want is a Buck Rogers gun. If you haven't got it, just say so, and then I'll...
Oh, Jack, here's one. Isn't this what you want?
Yes, that's it. Look, Mary, you just pull back the lever like this, and then... Gee, that's funny. Hey, mister, what's the matter with this? It doesn't work.
What's wrong with it?
Well, I just pulled back this lever and the spring snapped out of it.
You broke it and you is going to pay for it.
I am not going to pay for it.
You is too.
No, I'm not, and you can't hold me responsible.
Just a minute. Mr. Nelson!
Oh, it's you again. What have you done now, little man?
I didn't do anything. I picked up this gun and it doesn't work.
The reason it don't work is because you broke it.
I did no such thing, did I, Mary?
No, you broke the mama doll.
I didn't break the mama doll. It was this guy's brother years ago.
When I woke up in the morning, his poor little head was all smashed to pieces.
Now, look, Mr. Floorwalker, all I came in here for was a Buck Rogers gun. And if you haven't got one that works, I'll go someplace else.
You're not going until you pay for the one you got.
All right, I'll pay for it. Put it on my charge account. What a store. I never saw a store like this. Come on, Mary. I want to get those golf tees for Don.
They're on the mezzanine. I'll wait for you here.
Okay, I'll take the elevator. See, all the elevators are up. Number 5 is coming down. I'll take that one.
Hey, Bud. Bud.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Come here a minute.
What do you want?
Where are you going?
Upstairs.
Which elevator are you taking?
Number 5. What?
Take number 3.
Number 3?
It'll beat 5 to the top by 2.5 floors.
But number 5 is about to go up.
I know, but she's carrying too much weight.
Well, I don't know what to do. What about number 1?
Number 1 is a local that can't go the distance.
How about number 2?
Slow starter. Oh. Now be smart and take elevator number 3. Just look at the breeding.
The breeding?
It's out of General Electric by Otis.
Well, this really doesn't make any difference. I'm only Christmas shopping.
Well, okay. It's your dough.
I wonder where he gets his information.
Jack, did you get what you wanted?
No, I haven't gone up yet.
Oh, come on. I'll go with you. Here's the elevator.
All right. I can get things settled. Mezzanine, please. Gee, that's funny, Mary. 4 guys running the elevator.
Second floor. Christmas toys for girls and boys, sweaters, shirts, and clothes. Corset stays, men's toupees, Kleenex for your nose. You will like Lucky Strike, buy them here because they're round and firm and fully packed, just like Santa Claus.
Fellas, you passed my floor. I want to get off at the mezzanine. Third fellas, the mezzanine.
Here you'll find Venetian blinds, pool and billiard cues, movie reels, rubber heels, boots and button shoes, coaster bikes, Lucky Strikes. Try one, then you'll see. Be happy and go Lucky Strikes, smoke LSMFT.
Fellas, take me down. Look, I want the mezzanine. I don't want to go up any higher.
Fourth floor. Pots and pans, garbage cans, silverware and knives, buggy whips and pillow slips, china-ware and chives, cartons of smokes you love, give them to a friend. Stock up now with Lucky Strike, that milder, richer blend.
Fellas, please, look, I wanted the mezzanine. I asked for the mezzanine.
Fifth floor.
Fellas, look at the mezzanine. That's all. I want to buy something.
Violins that fit your chin, shovels, rakes, and balls, railroad spikes, Lucky Strikes, get them on this floor. Once you smoke a Lucky Strike, be sure that you want more.
Look, boys, I want to finish shopping. Take me down to the mezzanine.
Going down. Mezzanine, gasoline, alligator bags, coats and boats and billy goats and girdles if it's sags.
Let us off. We've got things to do.
Merry Christmas to you all, and a Happy New Year too.
Come on, Mary. Come on, I want to buy Don Wilson's gift and go home. Now, let's see. Where would we find the coffee?
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Well, hello, Mr. Kitzel.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Well, I see the U-time is catching up with you. You too, Miss Livingston.
Yes. Are you doing your Christmas shopping, Mr. Kitzel?
Look at this arm loaded with bundles. The things I am buying.
What's in that big package there?
Well, this is a beautiful fur coat, and I'm bringing it home to my wife.
Well, that's nice. What is it, fox or sable?
On the label, it's sable. In the box, it's fox.
I see.
Are you getting any other presents?
Yes, I'm also buying for the whole family a television set.
Oh, that's wonderful. There are a lot of good programs on now.
Yes, and I'm such a fan. Now I can stay home and watch Ed Solomon's Toast of the Town, Martin Cohen Private Eye, Kukla, Fran, and Molly. But my favorite of all is Faye Edelson.
That's Emerson.
Emerson, Edelson. She sends me.
Well, I got to finish my shopping. I hope you have a nice Christmas, Mr. Kitzel.
Thank you, and a happy Noel to you. You too, Miss Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. Kitzel.
Now, come on, Mary. I got to get that gift for Don. Oh, by the way, Mary, did you finish your shopping?
Yes, I just got my sister Babe a Max Factor makeup kit.
Max Factor? I thought you said you were going to get Babe a Lady Esther.
If we can just get her to look like Max, it'll be an improvement.
Maybe you're right. Come on, Mary. The sporting goods department is right over there.
Hey, look. Here comes Don now.
Oh, yes. Hello, Don.
Hello, Jack. Mary.
Doing your Christmas shopping, Don?
Yes, Jack. And by the way, this morning I got your Christmas cards.
You mean card, don't you, Don?
No cards. I bought 4 dozen.
Yes, he gets a professional discount, you know. Well, Don, it's quite a coincidence running into you because I was just on my way to buy your present.
Oh, really, Jack? What are you getting me?
See if you can guess, Don.
Well, let's see. A sports shirt?
No.
Silk robe?
No.
Movie camera?
No.
Am I getting warm?
Like Admiral Byrd.
Mary, please. Keep guessing, Don.
Gold cufflinks.
No. Keep guessing.
Oh, Jack, you're such a tease.
That's it.
Mary. I want him to be surprised. I love to watch his big fat face light up on Christmas. Come on now, we haven't much time. See you later, Don.
Okay, bye.
Gee, I wish I knew what to buy my mother for a Christmas present.
For your mother?
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'll get her one of these. What size is this one?
38.
No, that'll be a little too small. What size is this one here?
That's a 44.
Oh, that's fine. Put some bullets in it and wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
Send it to Mrs. Patrick Day and put a card in it saying, Merry Christmas, and be sure to listen to Dennis Day next Thursday night on Suspense.
Oh, you're going to be on Suspense?
Yeah, I've got so many shows now I drive Hooper nuts.
Well, getting back to the gun, I'm a little reluctant to sell it to you. Does your mother know how to use a gun?
Oh, sure. She's a crack shot. Every morning she practices shooting an apple off my father's head.
No.
Yeah, she only missed once.
What?
Now it doesn't make any difference if Papa sits in front of me while I'm watching television.
I see. Now, is there anything else you'd like to buy?
Oh, yes, I'd like to get something for Jack Benny. Something very expensive.
Very expensive?
Yeah, the poor old man only has one show.
Oh, well, let's see if we can find something nice for him. Well, here we are, Mary. Here's the sporting goods department. Now, I'll get Don's gift and we can go home. Oh, clerk.
Yes, sir?
I'd like to buy some...
Hey, your face looks familiar. Didn't I wait on you before?
I don't know. Now, I'd like to buy...
Now I remember you. Once you bought a pair of shoelaces from me.
Yes. Now, I'd like to buy...
It was 5 years ago. You couldn't make up your mind whether to get plastic tips or metal tips.
Oh, are you the fellow?
Yes, I recovered, but my hair never did come back in. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to buy some golf tees.
Golf tees? Certainly. Here you are.
Well, and they're gift wrapped, too.
Yes, and you'll find the celluloid tees are every bit as good as the wooden ones.
Oh. Are there two kinds?
I had to tell him, yes.
Gee, I don't know whether to get the wooden ones or the celluloid ones.
Look, mister.
The wooden ones break easily, but then the celluloid...
Please, mister, don't do what you did with the shoelaces.
Huh?
I remember how you kept coming back. First you get plastic tips, then you changed to metal tips, the plastic tips, the metal tips.
Well, it was a hard decision to make. Now, mister,
Plastic tips, metal tips, plastic tips, metal tips.
Jack, let's go. The rest of his hair is falling out.
Wait a minute.
And you came back again and again and again.
Mister.
All the other clerks went home, but I had to stay.
Look, mister,
But you're not going to do it to me this year.
Jack.
Plastic tips, metal tips, plastic tips, metal tips.
Mister.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out.
Mister, look.
Plastic tips, metal tips.
Mister, I'm not getting it this time.
Everybody else hit one, but here I am to stay.
Come on, Mary.
Plastic tips, metal tips.
Look, I didn't mean...
All the way.
First, here are some tunes and suggestions for Christmas gifts.
Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike, be happy, go lucky strike today.
If you have smokers on your list, then take a tip from me. In cigarettes, tobacco counts, and LSMFT.
Give lucky cartons to your friends. They're gaily decked with holly and filled with greater smoking joy to make this Christmas jolly.
Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike, be happy, go lucky strike today.
Believe me, friends, those Lucky Strike Christmas cartons, specially created by the famous designer Raymond Loewy, are a wonderful way to say Merry Christmas to your family and friends. Everyone will enjoy Lucky's happy blending of perfect mildness and rich taste. Perfect mildness? Scientific tests confirmed by 3 independent consulting laboratories prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand. And as for rich taste, well, only fine tobacco gives you rich, true tobacco taste. And LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So to add to the joys of the holiday season, put Lucky Strike Christmas cartons on your shopping list. And be happy, go lucky.
Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike, be happy, go lucky strike today.
Good night, everybody.
Be sure to head down to day and a day on the life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned to the Understand It Show, which follows immediately. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You, finding life rather dull, dreaming again of exotic places, wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you Escape.
Escape with us now to the Old West and the unusual story of a merciless professional killer, as Ernest Haycox tells it in Wild Jack Rett.
Red Mesa. A little town springing out of the hot, dry prairie beside the Chisholm Trail. A saloon, a hotel, 2 general stores, and a tiny church where the decent citizenry might pray for salvation while a wilder element, trail driver and teamster and buffalo hunter, restlessly searched out friend and enemy along the dusty main street. A small hill rose on the western edge of Red Mesa, plagued with a rash of graves, some marked and cared for, others sinking and forgotten.
Man that is born of woman has but a short time to live and is full of misery. He cometh up and is cut down like a flower. He flieth as it were a shadow. While we're praying, a couple of you boys start throwing some dirt on the sheriff. O Lord, with whom do live the spirits of them that be dead, and in whom the souls of them...
And that same evening, a committee of the leading citizens of Red Mesa gathered together at Mayor Wayne's home to decide upon a new sheriff.
All right, gentlemen, sit down and let's get this settled. Gentlemen, to make this town a decent place for our women folk and children, we've got to have a sheriff Todd Mallon and his kind can't kill. We need the toughest gunfighter available. And I want to propose...
Just a minute, Mayor Wayne. Let me speak.
All right. Go ahead, Bo Allen.
I don't think we should get all upset just because we lost another sheriff. Jim Speed worked out fine for Red Mesa. All we need is another sheriff just about like him.
I expected that, Bo Allen. All you look out for is to keep that saloon of yours full of anybody who'll buy whiskey and gamble. I still propose we reform this town by sending for a man some of you may have heard of. Jack Rett.
Gentlemen, I do want my saloon full. And full of the only men who'll bring any money at all into Red Mesa. Cowpunchers coming up the Chisholm Trail with Texas cattle. Thirsty men on the prod from a long drive. But you give them Jack Rett instead of a little fun, and this town will go broke.
We'll chance that, Bo Allen. We'll chance that.
What about Matt Travener? What's he got to say?
I've nothing to say, gentlemen. As U.S. Deputy Marshal for the district, my job is strictly outside Red Mesa. You run your town any way you like. I'll handle the surrounding territory.
Know anything about Jack Rett, Travener?
Just by reputation. Professional town tamer. And I've heard he's the most cold-blooded killer ever drew a gun.
Travener's right. We can't afford a man like that here.
Let's put it to a vote, gentlemen. All in favor of sending for Jack Rett, raise their right hand. 5-1. The matter is settled, gentlemen. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Bye, Wayne.
You'll wait and see Mary, Travener?
If you don't mind, Mayor.
Of course. Sit down. She'll be out in a minute. Well, boy, Helen is pretty mad. But after Jack Rett is here for a while, at least there'll be less gunfighting.
Be less anyway if Todd Mellon were out of the way. He sets a bad example. He's a hard man to catch.
Well, you've done all you can, Travener. There's just too much territory around here for Mallon and his gang to lose themselves in. He'll have to be taken by a town officer, and I think Rett is the man to do it, if Mallon comes to town again.
He'll come, Mayor. The word gets out that Rett is sheriff here, Mallon will have to face him or lose his reputation with his own men.
Good evening, Father. Hello, Matt.
Good evening.
Hello, darling.
Well, Matt Travener, aren't you going to kiss me?
Well, of course, sure. Yeah.
Mary. What a shameless wench you are.
Oh, Father, you're old-fashioned. After all, we're engaged.
Your mother, God rest her soul, didn't behave like that when we were engaged.
The war changed things, Father.
I know, but not for the better. Well, I'm off to bed. Don't stay up too late now. Good night.
Good night, Father. You look worried, Matt.
Do I?
Tell me about it.
Well, it's just that they're sending for a new sheriff. A legal killer named Rett. He has quite a reputation, and there'll always be men to challenge it.
That means more gunfighting. Is that it?
I'm afraid so. It's a bloody way to peace, Mary.
I know. Let's not worry about it now. Come on. I'll pick some coffee for us.
3 weeks later, Wild Jack Rett rode into Red Mesa. He was 38 and at the peak of his reputation. He stood well over 6 feet, better than 200 pounds of plain sinew. Tawny blonde hair grew long in the frontier style, and his features, fair and tinted like a girl's, were boldly aquiline. He was a picturesque man, till one looked at his eyes, which were large and pale blue, and had the disconcerting trick of remaining too steadily on people. There was to be seen in them the suggestion of inhumanity. He sent word to the committee that he'd meet him at the mayor's office that evening.
It's 8 o'clock now. Where is he?
He's in town, and that's bad enough.
Dear sport, Bohelen. We took a fair vote on Rett.
Here he comes now.
My name is Jack Rett. I have your offer.
I'm Peter Wayne, mayor of Red Mesa. Do you accept it?
Depends on what you want. Tell me.
Rett, this is a difficult town. The Chisholm Trail lies just across the river, and we get most of our money from the riders passing through Texas cattle. Now, we want them to have a decent time for their money, but we don't like a lot of gunplay and killing.
I have always been accustomed to complete authority, Mayor. I presume to know my job, and I won't have interference.
That's agreed, Rett. By the way, the last sheriff had a rule that riders leave their hardware at his office. He had trouble enforcing it.
A poor rule. Let them pack their guns.
Well, that gives the wild ones a fair chance at you.
I never give a man a fair chance at me. Is that all, gentlemen?
Bohelen's saloon was the usual deadfall, with a huge bar along one side of the room and gaming tables toward the rear. Next morning, Bohelen stood tapping the mahogany of the bar with his fingertips, staring thoughtfully at nothing.
Good morning, Bohelen.
It's noon, Samus.
Huh? Oh, sure. Draw me a beer, Mike. Yeah. Where's the new sheriff, Bohelen?
Over there at the corner table. Came in just before you did.
Huh?
Barkeep, bring me a cigar, a glass of rye.
Yeah. Now he's going to clean and reload his 6 guns, one at a time.
By golly, he is. How'd you know?
It's an old gunman's trick to impress the citizens.
But there's no one here except you and me.
Then it's to impress me.
Don't. Goodbye, Bohelen. Mike.
You've got something to say to me, Bohelen?
Yes, I have. You're smart, Red. I recognize that. But your record for killing is too severe, and my business depends on an open town. Now, the reform element got you, and I'll go along for now. But just remember one thing. I can break you, Rett, any time.
I was waiting for that, Bohelen.
Well, then I guess we understand each other.
Hello?
Oh, any luck, Matt?
Just a morning's ride.
Matt, here's Jack Rett. Rett, this is Mac Travener, U.S. Deputy Marshal for the district.
Glad to know you, Rett.
You're young.
Don't be misled. Rett, your job is in town. Mine is everything outside. So I'll either back you up here in Red Mesa or leave you strictly alone.
I'll handle Red Mesa.
All right. One more thing. I want Todd Mallon. If he comes to town again, he'll have to be taken. Will you do that or shall I?
What is he?
Outlaw. His main line is plain robbery. Now I want him for killing Jim Speed.
Let me handle Mallon.
Why?
Killing's my trade. Man doesn't live with enough animal instinct to get me.
Maybe. Killing you would build a man's reputation considerable.
Just so?
Well, good luck, Rett.
There was peace for a full week in Red Mesa. And then on Saturday night, Matt Travenor's prediction came true. Jack Rett was at his customary post just opposite Bohelen's saloon, in a chair on the porch of the Chinook Hotel, obscured by the shadows and watching the crowd, his cold, pale eyes half concealed by cigar smoke. Trouble found him thus.
Evening, Sheriff.
Good evening, ma'am.
Keeping an eye on the boys, huh?
Where's this Rett that used to be an Abilene? Where's he hiding? Where's that great man, Wild Jack Rett? Bring him out!
Hello, cowboy.
That's a lot of killing for one, Sheriff. 3 men. I don't like it.
Forget it, friend. Have a drink and forget it.
You're Bohelen, ain't you?
That's right. Come on now, have one in the house. Mike, fix him up.
I can pay for my liquor. You never gave him a chance. What kind of sheriff you got stands in a shadow and kills 1 man, and then jumps 50 feet from his gun flash and shoots down 2 more? Those boys never had a chance at him.
Drink your drink, cowboy.
That was the most merciless killing I ever seen. He's a butcher. I wish I'd gunned him. Up!
This is my game. Never fools to play it. Never buck a man who's spent his life learning to kill, son. Get out of town. Get out now.
Red? What if I
Don't try it, son. Don't let your anger destroy you. Drift. Go on. Drift.
Blast your town. I can hold my thirst another 200 miles up the trail. Come on, boys. We'll send word back to Texas to go around Red Mesa and let it dry to powder.
Yeah, sure will.
It won't do, Rett.
It'll do, Bohelen. Barkeep, bring me a glass of rye. On the house.
Rett stood with his back to the bar, holding his drink and a thin black cigar carefully in one hand. He stood there for about 10 minutes. Then trouble came again.
Todd Mallon, he's riding in with 4 men.
Close the gates. Open up the back doors.
Well, Jack Rett, now let's see you shoot down Todd Mallon and 4 men from the shadows.
Good night, Bohelen.
Escape, under the direction of Norman MacDonald, returns in just a moment. Sorry, but if you think school teachers have it easy, you've got another think coming. Just ask our Miss Brooks, as played by Eve Arden, on most of these same CBS stations this evening. And now, back to Escape.
When word came to Bohelen's saloon that Todd Mallon was riding into Red Mesa with 4 men, Jack Rett simply walked out, crossed the street to his office, sat down and waited. 20 minutes later, Todd Mellon had arrived and departed. Not a shot fired. Then Jack Rett went quietly to bed. But early Sunday morning, he was back in his office.
Come in.
Morning, Rett.
Well, Crabner?
There's talk, Rett.
I expect that.
Now, Rett, you told me you'd handle Mellon if he came to town.
Yes, Travener.
Well, they say Mellon rode into town last night with 4 men, rode right up to this office, got down, came inside. That you and he stood here with this desk between you talking. And that a few minutes later, Mellon left and rode out of town.
I play the game my own way, Travener. And I don't want interference from anybody.
People are saying maybe you and Mellon made a deal of some kind.
Well, now, somebody's breaking the Sabbath. You know who it could be, Travener?
No, I know.
That's a rifle. Sounds like one of those 7-shot Spencers.
And it's old Hack Crow.
Who's he?
An old trapper. Comes to town every few months, sells his furs, gets drunk, goes a little crazy. Jim Speed always laid him away in jail to sober.
I'll take a look.
You better stop him, Rett.
He's only got 2 shots left. That'll satisfy him. I doubt if he'll reload.
And if he notices us and decides to shoot?
Then I'll have to kill him. Hey, who's that coming out of Bohelen's?
Ewald Bay, gambler.
He's a fool.
Now he's getting his horse. You gonna stop him, Rett?
No. Let him go.
Rett, the town is your territory, and I won't interfere. But why did you refuse a fair shot at Hack Crow? Ewald Bay is dead.
Which is the more useful citizen, Travener? Crow or Bay? The West is full of gamblers.
There was considerable talk that day in Red Mesa over Jack Rett's aloof and cruel calm in condoning a shooting that had occurred under his very eyes and within reach of his formidable guns. Then, mid-afternoon, a rider came up from the prairie and reported finding old Hack Crow dead in a coulee, dry gulched and robbed. Mayor Wayne heard about it and went to Bohelen's saloon to hear more.
Good evening, Mayor.
Hello, Bohelen. Got a brandy.
And what do you think of your great Jack Rett now, Mayor?
It looks bad.
Now, look, Mayor. Everyone knew Hack Crow carried his profits in his pocket. Always did that. So Rett allowed him to leave, and Todd Mellon and his men were waiting for him in the coulee. It's as simple as that.
We have no proof of that, Bohelen.
No? And why didn't Rett take Mellon when he rode in here last night? Because they made a business arrangement, that's why.
Well, it doesn't look good, but... Shh. There's Rett now.
Barkeep, glass of rye.
I don't want to talk to him yet. I'm leaving. Good night, Bohelen.
Good night, man. Mike, give me that rye. I'll take it over to the sheriff myself. Here's your drink, Sheriff. Mind if I sit down?
The game never changes, Bohelen. I know what you're going to say.
I warned you I could break you, Rett.
It's an old story to me. Every town's got one insider who plays along with the outlaws. I knew you to be that one here when I first saw you. Running a saloon, you'd know when a cattle buyer was riding out of town carrying a specie, when the overland stage was loaded with gold. There was a quarrel over the split of profits between you and Mellon, and you fell apart. That's always the way.
Very shrewd, Rett.
It's an old story, Bohelen. I know it by heart.
Very shrewd. But you can't play the same game.
All sheriffs are supposed to be crooked.
You and Mellon had an agreeable little chat last night. Did he make you a good offer, Rett?
Maybe I should accept his offer, Bohelen, just to keep you two split. Maybe I should do that.
Rett, I've seen sheriffs come and go. It's a chancy trade.
Sheriffs die. They all die. It's only a question of time.
You're a hard one, Jack Rett.
You might make your peace with Malin. It'd have to be that way, otherwise you'll have little chance of getting rid of me, Bohelen.
It may be that way.
I wouldn't be surprised. I always expect the worst of men, and am seldom disappointed.
It was turning dark as Jack Rett left Bohelen's saloon. Crossing the street, he walked into his office, but continued on out through the back door. A few minutes later, he stood in the gathering shadows opposite the OK stable and watched Bohelen ride out and drift into the prairie to the south. He knew now what to expect. It would happen soon, perhaps tomorrow. He returned to his office and slept the night there.
Come in. Well.
Morning. Rett, I want you to meet Mary Wayne.
Miss Wayne, very proud.
I wanted to know you.
To meet him, Mary, not to know him. Rett lives in a closed world.
See that? I have no friends.
We're to be married on Thursday, Mr. Rett. I should like you to be there.
I'd be most happy. Thank you.
Now, Mary, would you wait outside? I've got some business to discuss with the sheriff.
Of course, Matt. But don't be long. Goodbye, Mr. Rett.
Bye, Miss Wayne.
Rett, this afternoon I'm leaving to find Todd Malin. You had your chance, but you let him go.
Wait, Traveler. Wait.
I've tried patience, Rett, and I'm a poor hand at it.
Traveler, you have a fine girl. If it's not presuming, let me congratulate you and compliment her.
Thank you. Was that all?
I'll take care of Malin. Give me a little time. It's my job.
Rett, I want to believe you.
No man wearing a star should believe anybody. It's a weakness. Haven't I told you?
Blessed if I quite understand you, Rett.
And understand this. Every man has his time. When it comes, he knows it. There's no turning back. Nothing makes any difference then except to stand up to the finish and go out in decent style.
And yet you're the man never believes in giving another man a break.
Don't try to understand me.
You want help with Malin?
I have no faith in help.
Coming, Mary.
Wait, Traveler. I'll suggest this much. Take one man. Ride due north to where the cattle trail crosses Tempest Creek. Be there tonight. Understand?
Rett, I'd hate to oppose you.
If you did, you'd lose. I've been 15 years at this, Traveler, which is 5 years beyond average luck.
That evening, Jack Rett took up his post on the porch of the Chinook Hotel, dressed in his best, a hard white shirt, a blood-red Windsor tie, and a suit of black broadcloth swelling around the big, uncompromising shoulders. He sat there calm behind the smoke of his cigar, waiting.
Full moon tonight, Sheriff.
That's right.
No offense, mind you.
Good evening, Rett.
Hello, Mayor Wayne. Mayor, have you seen Traveler?
He rode north this afternoon. He'll be back tomorrow, he said.
Good.
Where's the sheriff?
Here I am. But listen, I just come up South Creek, and Todd Malin and 6 men were only a quarter mile behind me, heading into town.
All right, friend. Take cover.
Yeah, sure.
Rett stood up and moved into the shadow at the end of the hotel porch. Across the street, Bohelen appeared in the full glow of the doorway of his saloon.
Come out in the dark and meet your friends, Jack Rett. What are you afraid of? They stolen Malin riding in to see you.
Thieves fall out, but the urge for profits brings them together again.
You should have known it, Rett.
Nothing surprises me.
Well, there you are, Rett. Surprised to find you exposing your great reputation out there in the middle of the street.
Have Every man has his time. You want to try it, Bo Helen? Or will you wait for help?
I'll wait.
The arriving horses came up into the moonlit street and halted at the corner of the saloon. Bo Helen's hand lifted toward the group, and at that order the horsemen spread out until they were flank to flank all across the street. Todd Mallon advanced from the line and stopped, square and alert above the saddle. Jack Rett stood alone in the middle of the street, his eyes flashing a hard fury. Then he dropped his cigar and ground it beneath the boot. It was a final gesture.
How are you, Mallon? Goodbye, gentlemen.
Next day, Red Mesa buried some more men out on the hill and talked of Jack Rett, who was more of a mystery to them now than when living. To all of them but one, Matt Travner.
Nobody knows a killer's world, Mary. Wasn't any room in Jack Rett for much pity. But he sent me away to save me from what he knew was coming. I think that was a kindness, although I had no fear.
It was a fine thing for him to do, Matt. But they say he stood in the middle of the street to face them all in the moonlight. Why? It wasn't his style.
As long as he was sure of himself, he never gave anybody an even chance, Mary. But killers live and die by instinct. And somewhere along the evening, he got the warning. After that, it was just a matter of pride. He killed Mallon and Bo Helen before he died, standing up and in good style. And that's sort of a greatness, isn't it?
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you Wild Jack Rett by Ernest Haycox, especially adapted for radio by John Meston. Jack Rett was played by John Daner, with Larry Dobkin as Matt and Lou Krugman as Bo Helen. Parley Bear was the narrator. Featured in the cast were Junius Matthews, Russell Simpson, Gene Bates, Paul Dubov, and Sam Edwards. The special music for Escape was composed and conducted by Ivan Ditmars.
Next week, we escape with the story of two small boys who discover the most fabulous Christmas ever dreamed of, as Anthony Ellis tells it in his delightful tale, The Cave.
Stay tuned now for Make Believe Town, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. Roy Rowan speaking for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And now, stay tuned for the mystery program that is unique among all mystery programs, because even when you know who is guilty, you always receive a startling surprise at the final curtain. In the Signal Oil program, The Whistler. Signal, the famous Go Farther gasoline, invite you to sit back and enjoy another strange story by The Whistler.
I am the Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak.
And now for the Signal Oil Company, The Whistler's strange story. Flee from evil.
There was almost complete darkness around the parked car on the lonely road on the outskirts of Seattle. And the man at the wheel, heavy-set and 50-ish, tried to peer through this darkness. He couldn't see, but he could imagine what was taking place some 50 yards further up the road. A raised gun, careful aim, and then the shots that Bert Macklin was waiting to hear. Shots followed by the sound of running feet. A few moments later, Bert's nephew had run to the car, leaped inside, and Bert had the motor running, the car in gear, moving forward.
Swing around, Uncle Bert. We'll go back the way we came.
Right. You got him?
Yes. Yes, I got him. Hey, look out. You're getting off the road. We'll get stuck. Yeah, stuck. Oh, no. We've got to get out of here. You keep stepping on it, and I'll give her a push. Let up. Let up. Now. 1, 2, 3. That's it. She's free. Come on. Now, let's go, Uncle Bert. Get us away from here. Fast.
Nothing to worry about now, Freddie. You're sure you took care of him?
Oh, that's what I came here for. All the way from London. Yes, I took care of him, I'm sure.
You didn't get a look at him?
No, it was too dark, but he was sitting at the wheel of his car, and I slipped up alongside.
I see. Well, maybe it's over. Really over. At last.
There's no maybe about it.
All right, but... Well, after a month of paying off, wondering when I'd be tapped again, it doesn't seem possible that I'm rid of him, Freddie.
Huh? Inheriting money does have its drawbacks,
Decidedly. Good thing the fellow was only getting started. Even my entire inheritance could go fast that way.
Yeah. Well, you better slow down, Uncle Bert. We're almost into town.
We'll go directly back to the party, give some excuse. And Freddie, you've done me a great favor.
Yes, and you're going to show your appreciation, of course. Our bargain, you know?
I'll never forget this, your help. What you just did back there.
It'll be healthier for me if you do forget it right now. Killing a man, even a blackmailer, well, there's some sort of law, isn't there, Uncle Bert?
I prefer the other law. The one you mentioned earlier this evening. An eye for an eye.
Yes, you did say that, didn't you, Freddie? An eye for an eye. You were quite willing to lend a hand, so eager to cooperate. You feel a surge of confidence back at the house, facing the others, as Uncle Bert extends his apologies for being away.
Oh, sorry, Lloyd. Veronica, we didn't intend to be gone so long, you know.
Quite all right, old man.
We went for a spin in Uncle Bert's new car. He's already imagining all sorts of things wrong with it.
Oh, not at all. I just wanted Freddie to try it out. He's very handy with machines, you know.
My, he is talented, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know, Veronica. Say, where's Uncle Frank?
Oh, he left here shortly after you two did. Said he suddenly remembered a business appointment.
Oh?
A business appointment? Frank had a business appointment?
Well, it must have been rather important for him to walk out when so many drinks are being passed around.
Drinks? Oh, now, look here, Freddie. If any drinks were passed, they were passed right by me.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry what we told Mrs. Fell to act as hostess till we got back.
Oh, your uncle's housekeeper made it quite clear to us that if we wanted any drinks while you two were gone, we'd have to fix them ourselves. Dinner, she said, is the only thing she'd attend to this evening.
Oh, did she? Well, I told her we'd only be gone a little while, the old gargoyle.
Oh, come now, Freddie.
Look, I'll attend to the drinks right away. Why don't we all go into the bar?
Wonderful idea.
Sure. Are you coming, Uncle Bert? Uncle Bert?
Huh? Oh, yes. Freddie, just a minute.
What's the matter?
Frank. Freddie, you don't suppose Frank's the one?
Uncle Frank? What? No, I never thought of that. It is funny, his having a business appointment just after we left the party to keep our appointment with your blackmailer.
Could have been, you know. We'll find out soon enough. There's not much we can do now.
No. Oh, I can't believe it, Uncle Frank.
Frank's not really your uncle, Freddie. He's my half-brother. I wouldn't put it past him, sponging off me the way he's been doing. Who could that be?
Let's see.
Good evening, gentlemen. Let's see now. You'd be Mr. Bert Macklin, and you'd be Mr. Friend.
Well, what is it?
My card.
Sidney Hocker, private investigator. I don't understand, Mr. Hocker.
You will. I'd like to come in for a little talk, if you don't mind.
Oh, that's quite impossible. We have dinner guests.
Oh, of course. Naturally, you wouldn't want them to hear what I had to say.
Now, see here. What is the nature of your business?
It all ties in rather neatly with that little display you and Freddie here put on a little while ago on the outskirts of town.
Fred, I think we'd best step outside. Close the door. Now, Mr. Harker, if you'll get to the point.
Well, that shooting a little while ago, that was me that Freddie Boy pumped those bullets into. Or rather, it was my overcoat. You'll notice the holes.
What's that?
Yeah, I rolled up a few blankets, put my overcoat around them, my hat on top, and left it slumped over the wheel of the car.
Oh. I shot at a dummy. I see.
Merely acting on behalf of my client.
Client?
That's right. These days, I'm forced to take anything that comes along. Now to the business at hand, gents. As you know, my client has definite proof, Mr. Macklin, that the death of a former associate of yours was anything but accidental. Your former associate's name was Edward Wilson. This information could be dropped into a mailbox to the police.
Unless I pay. You see, Freddie, it isn't over. What do you want, Mr. Harker? How much?
Well, my client feels, in view of what's happened this evening, the attempted murder, that this payment should be $5,000.
$5,000? Freddie, do you... Take it easy, Uncle Bert. We haven't any choice. Where do we deliver the money, Mr. Harker?
My office will do, Freddie boy. Say about 9 tomorrow evening. Good night, gents.
We're licked, Freddie. Beaten. Through. It's funny. Funny? I fail to see the humor of it. No, I mean, I'm not a murderer after all, am I? No, that's right. You're not.
During dinner, you watch your Uncle Bert closely. His eyes wander about the table, settling on one guest and then another. And you know what he's thinking about, don't you? Uncle Frank could still be the blackmailer, couldn't he? You know that thought is going through your Uncle Bert's mind. Then there's Lloyd Gillis, an associate at the lumber mill. He could be Mr. Hocker's client. Yes, either one of them could know about Bert's dead colleague, the one who was supposed to have committed suicide. And occasionally, Freddie, you feel Uncle Bert's eyes are on you, too. Dinner over, you take Veronica home. Then return to the house. Find Uncle Bert has something on his mind.
Freddie. Huh? This girl, Veronica. What do you know about her? Well, how much does one know about anyone you meet on a boat trip? What? I was just wondering about her. Oh, you mean you think that she could... Oh, no, that's nonsense. She's just here visiting her sick sister, helping out for a bit, that's all. No, if you ask me, Uncle Frank's your blackmailer. It could be anybody, Freddie. Even you. Me? Oh, now, really, isn't that a bit thick? And you're forgetting you asked me to come here all the way from London a month ago to help you out. Yes, I did ask you. We made a bargain. You were to help me get this blackmailer off my neck. In return, I was to make you my sole heir. Yes. And if I might point out, you had already been approached by the blackmailer while I was still in London. That's right. I had been approached, but through an intermediary. That's something else I've been thinking about. Why should a blackmailer share his good fortune with a go-between, eh? Because he doesn't wish to reveal his identity to me, or because he doesn't happen to be on the scene at the moment. It could be anywhere. Even in London, Freddie. Oh, really, Uncle Bert? You're letting this thing get you. No, you'd better stick with Uncle Frank for your blackmailer. Well, I'm going to turn in, get some sleep. You'll have the money tomorrow night, hmm? Yes. I'll see what I can do. Good night, Freddie.
You're worried, aren't you, Fred? Because the thing that brought you here from London, your Uncle Bert's money he promised to leave you in his will, is slowly slipping away, and you're powerless to prevent it. Yes, Uncle Bert's past is threatening your future. And you're even more certain of it the following evening as you sit in Sid Hocker's office and wait till he calls his client.
Hello, this is Hocker. Yes, he's here now. But with only half the money. I know, but he says the rest is tied up at the moment.
It'll be a week at least before he can manage the rest.
He says he'll have the rest in another week. Right. What? Got it. My client isn't very happy, Freddie boy.
But he is giving us more time.
1 week, Freddie boy. No more.
It's while you're walking back to the house that an idea strikes you suddenly. You want to find Uncle Bert's blackmailer, don't you? Yes. But instead of getting rid of him, you wonder about joining forces with him. Then you could start collecting on Uncle Bert's money now, rather than wait years to inherit it. Inside the house, you hurry to the telephone, pick it up, and toy with the dial, counting the clicks. Interesting, isn't it, Fred? If you can learn to count the clicks perfectly and listen again when Sid Hocker calls his client, and then remember the sound pattern, you'd have it, wouldn't you, Fred? The phone number of your uncle's blackmailer. Once you know that, Fred, you can contact the blackmailer directly. Offer him your valuable assistance in blackmailing Uncle Bert, and split the money with him.
1, 2, 3, 4. By George, I think I can count the clicks. I think I can do it. With a little more practice, I know I can do it. After that, I'll have everyone just where I want them.
Extra pep, take those hills and high. Put Signal Ethel in your car and it will really fly. If you're surprised to hear me sing, just wait till you hear your car sing when you treat it to its first tankful of Signal Ethel. Yes, with the premium grade of Signal's famous Go Farther gasoline in your tank, it'll be music to your ears when you touch the starter on cold mornings. Presto, your motor starts humming a tune quicker than you can turn on your radio. When it comes to acceleration, Signal Ethel will show you pep that makes even Dixieland jazz seem tame. And the knock-free power of Signal Ethel will send you up hills as smoothly and effortlessly as a coloratura from the Met soars to high C. And why not? After all, Signal Ethel is engineered to bring out the best in any car. So if it's best performance you want, just remember the famous last verse of that great shower room baritone Marvin Miller. Go farther and have fun, enjoy your every spin. To get more out of any car, put Signal Ethel in.
It's been a trial, hasn't it, Fred? From the beginning, when you first discovered that your Uncle Bert was being blackmailed and your own future fortunes threatened. Yes, you were willing to commit murder to prevent it. But the attempted murder backfired, and the blackmailer doubled his price. But now you feel you're in command again, that your little plan will pay off. A few days of practice, and you can tell any phone number now when you hear it being dialed by counting the clicks, remembering the sound pattern. Yes. All you have to do is listen carefully the next time you're with Sid Hocker when he calls his client. Then a great idea hits you. True, it's a dangerous one. Something could go wrong. But it's worth considering carefully, isn't it? And it's constantly on your mind in the days that follow. Then on the evening of your appointment with Hocker to pay the rest of the money you promised, you step into the study, find Uncle Bert standing at the window, staring out into the night.
It's almost 8, Uncle Bert.
Oh, Freddie.
Well, hadn't I better be getting over to Hocker's?
You don't have to be there till 9. Perhaps you won't get there at all.
You mean you didn't manage to get the rest of the money?
Oh, I got it all right. It's just that I'm not certain I want to turn it over to Hocker's client. Been trying to make up my mind all day.
Oh, now look here, Uncle Bert.
I know. If I don't pay up, Mr. Hocker's client will expose me. Perhaps that's what I really want. Get it over with once and for all. Why should I go on paying and paying and paying? He'll bleed me white.
But I thought we'd agreed the other day that you'd go on paying for a while at least and bide your time. He's bound to make a mistake.
If I could be sure.
No, I say pay off this chap. Pay as long as you're able. It's better than the noose.
I don't know.
I don't know. It will take time and money, but it'll be worth it.
Perhaps you're right, Freddie.
We'll catch up to Mr. Hocker's client. You'll see.
All right. Bring the car around. I'll get the money out of the safe.
Uncle Bert had you worried for a moment, didn't he, Fred? Yes. You saw your entire plan collapsing, and all that easy money slipping from your grasp. But suddenly it was all right again. And Uncle Bert agreed to go on paying his blackmailer. Now, with the money tucked away in your coat pocket, you drive downtown to Hocker's office.
Good evening, Mr. Hocker.
Well, Mr. Macklin. Johnny on the spot, eh? And with the money?
Johnny on the spot, yes. With the money, no.
Huh? What's this?
No, you see, Mr. Hocker, Uncle had a bit of difficulty raising the money.
Now, see here, my
All he
client...
asks is a few hours.
I see.
Do you think that will be agreeable to your client, Mr. Hocker?
It might be, and then again it might not.
Why don't you ask your client?
All right, I will.
You sit at the edge of the desk. Try to appear calm as Hocker steps to the telephone and picks it up. You listen carefully as he dials.
Well, this is Sid Hocker. Right. There's been a delay. Mr. Macklin's having a bit of trouble raising the money. What? Oh, no. All he wants is a little more time. Huh? Right. Got it.
Let me talk to your client, Mr. Hocker.
Yeah, no, none of that.
Well, I only wanted to...
I'll answer any questions you have. Is that clear?
Oh, as you wish. You'll just have to call your client again.
I can afford it. Well?
My uncle is ready to make a settlement. Tonight. He's willing to pay $20,000 if your client will turn over every shred of evidence he holds against my uncle and drop the matter once and for all.
20,000, eh? Well, now, that sounds reasonable.
Now, suppose you see if your client thinks so.
Right. But mind you, no tricks.
No tricks.
You've got to make certain, don't you, Fred? And you listen carefully as he dials the number again. It's the same number he dialed before, isn't it? There's no mistake. And you're confident now you'll be able to dial that same number when the time comes.
Well, Mr. Hocker?
It's a gribble, but my client wants the money delivered here by 11 tonight.
Good. I'll see you then, Mr. Hocker.
You hurry out of the office, downstairs into your car. From the glove compartment, you remove a gun. You slip it into your pocket. As you start back, you see Hocker walk out of the building, head for the parking lot in the rear. Quickly, you move after him. Then in the darkness behind the building, you catch up to him as he slides in behind the wheel of his car.
Oh, Hocker.
Hey, oh, it's you. Hey, what's the idea of the gun?
Move over,
What are you doing?
I said move over.
Wait a minute.
That's a good shot. Now, start up, Hocker. We're going for a bit of a spin. I think this will do, Hocker. A nice, dark, deserted road. Splendid place for a chat,
What's the idea?
Pull over, old man.
All right. Now what?
Well, first off, that business about Uncle wanting to make a settlement. That was a bit of a trick on my part, I'm afraid.
What?
Yes, you see, I was merely interested in having you dial that phone again.
What are you talking about?
I had to make certain I had the right number. You see, Hocker, by simply listening to the dial as it spins, counting the number of clicks...
You mean you can...
Oh, yes. I can dial that number again with very little difficulty. Now, are you going to tell me who the blackmailer is? Or must I find out for myself?
You don't know yet?
Would it be Frank Macklin by any chance?
Let's see.
Or Lloyd Gillis, perhaps?
Never heard of him.
I don't recognize the number at all. Of course, it could be a booth somewhere or a little hideaway, an apartment.
I wouldn't know.
I see. Well, if you won't cooperate, I shall have to find out by calling. I'm rather certain I'll recognize the voice, and I shall be most careful not to reveal my own identity, of course.
Well, now that that's settled, what more do you want with me? I ain't no goodie anymore.
That's right. However, inasmuch as I intend to do business with your client, a sort of partnership arrangement in the near future...
So that's it. You're going to be part of the scheme from now on, eh?
Yes. And my plans do not include you, I'm afraid. Does that upset you? Yes, I'm sure it does. Now, I shouldn't want you around, Mr. Hocker, to slip the word to dear Uncle Bert and tell him what I'm doing.
Here. What do you mean?
Well, it's obvious, quite obvious, isn't it, old man?
No, wait.
No, I'm
wait.
sorry, Mr. Hocker. As you so aptly put it, you ain't no good to me anymore.
While watching some Christmas shoppers, I couldn't help thinking, if folks shopped as carefully for automobile batteries as they do for Christmas gifts, practically all drivers would decide on Signal Deluxe batteries. Just compare the power of various batteries. You'll find Signal Deluxe batteries give up to 35% more power for quicker starting and to take care of your radio and other electrical gadgets. That's because of Signal's microporous all-rubber separators, which have been called the greatest battery improvement in 20 years. Compare the life of various batteries. You'll see that Signal Deluxe batteries are guaranteed up to 2.5 times as long as ordinary batteries, a full 30 months on a service basis, which also means that the cost per month is amazingly low, even lower when you deduct the trade-in allowance Signal dealers are giving for old batteries. And liberal credit terms are available. No wonder more and more shoppers, drivers who really compare batteries, are choosing Signal Deluxe batteries at Signal service stations.
It's done, isn't it, Fred? Hocker is dead. The threat has been removed, and he lies buried in a shallow grave on the outskirts of town. Now all you have to do is call the blackmailer. And once you've learned his identity without revealing your own, you expect to approach him again later, cautiously. Inform him of your plan for a partnership, to continue to blackmail your uncle together. And you certainly won't refuse, because you then reveal his identity to Uncle Bert. You drive back to town, park Hocker's car on the lot behind his office building, and then hurry upstairs. As you sit at Hocker's desk, you glance at your watch, and a smile covers your face. Yes, you're confident now that you've made the right decision, aren't you?
Hello, Freddie. But, Uncle Bert, what are you doing here?
Looking for Sid Hocker. I thought I might persuade him to tell me who the blackmailer is, confirm my suspicions. With this.
Oh, no, Uncle Bert. Put that gun away. Hocker's not here.
So I see. Delivering the money to his client, I suppose.
Yes.
I think you should know, Freddie, that I contacted the police tonight.
You what?
Yes, I told the police why I was being blackmailed, that I'd killed a man some time ago, was going to give myself up. And I was going to get the blackmailer first. That's why I came here. I was sure Hocker could lead me to the blackmailer.
But I thought that...
I was going to go on paying? No, I decided against that shortly after you left the house tonight.
Oh, really? Well, that wasn't very clever.
No, and you're going to regret it, Freddie.
Oh, what?
Oh, I've suspected for a long time you were behind all this.
Why, well, that's ridiculous.
Is it? Let's see if my hunch is right. Empty your pockets.
My pockets?
I'll give you 3.
Oh, now, wait.
1, 2.
All right.
That's better. Well, you do have the money. My hunch was right.
I can explain.
So Hocker paid off his client, eh?
Now, Uncle Bert, if you'll only listen...
No, I could forgive you stealing money from me, but not blackmailing me, Freddie.
No, you don't understand this. I haven't blackmailed you. Look, I'll find the blackmailer for you.
None of your tricks. Put that phone down.
Well, then let me call a number. I swear you'll hear the blackmailer's voice with your own ears.
I'm not that stupid. Me fall for a trick like that. And it is a trick, isn't it, Freddie? You want to catch me off guard. Get close enough to me so you can get this gun.
No, it's not a trick.
All right. We'll see. But you'd better not try any tricks. I'll listen in, yes. But on this extension phone over here. But remember, Freddie, I'll have this gun on you. I've already confessed one murder to the police. Another one won't matter much. Go ahead. Make your call.
Everything depends on this phone call, doesn't it, Fred? Your hand is steady, sure as you dial. You know there can't be any mistake. That this is the number Hocker called. You're certain it's the phone number of his client, the blackmailer.
At the tone, the time will be 10, 9, and 40 seconds.
Hocker. Rebecca was the blackmailer all the time.
No. It was you, Freddie. That phone call you just made was a trick. And a very stupid one.
No. No, Uncle Bert, wait!
At the tone, the time will be 10 exactly.
Let that whistle be your signal for the Signal Oil program, The Whistler, each Sunday night at the same time. Signal Oil Company has asked me to remind you that there's an easy way we can all help to make this holiday season happier for ourselves and others. Drive at sensible speeds, be courteous, and obey traffic regulations. It may save a life, possibly your own. Featured in tonight's story were Bill Foreman, Ben Wright, Ed Begley, Constance Cavendish, and Ted DeCorsia. The Whistler was produced and directed by George W. Allen, with story by Adrian John Doe, music by Wilbur Hatch, and was transmitted to our troops overseas by the Armed Forces Radio Service. The Whistler is entirely fictional, and all characters portrayed on The Whistler are also fictional. Any similarity of names or resemblance to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Remember, at the same time next Sunday, another strange tale by The Whistler. Marvin Miller speaking for the Signal Oil Company. Stay tuned now for Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.